Hi everyone, I'm Lou from Empress Blue. Welcome to this video that will be all about the Venus retrograde that is happening in Leo from July the 23rd until September 4th. Now, Venus has been in Leo since the beginning of June and will stay there until mid-October. So that's 4 months that we've got to work on this Venus in Leo medicine story, okay? And this Venus retrograde also happens approximately every 18 months. So we will be completing a Venus cycle, which happened, which was in Capricorn, that started in December 2021. And so the halfway point of the Venus retrograde will complete that cycle and we'll move into this new Venus in Leo cycle, which will last for the next 18 months. We actually have 18 months to really integrate the lessons that come through during the retrograde period. Now, these Venus retrogrades repeat themselves every 8 years. And so we will be seeing similar themes repeating themselves as well in our lives from 8 years ago. So think back to 2015 and what happened then. And you may find that you're spiraling over similar patterns, similar themes, similar concepts that come up for you that happened then. Now, the great thing about this is we get to approach it differently. We get to see it from a different perspective and a different vantage point, because you're not the same person that you were 8 years ago. And so, you know, you've grown, you've had, you've learned a lot, and you've been through the whole sequence of Venus retrogrades in the last 8 years and have so much more wisdom and knowledge to apply now to these similar themes that come up. Now, just bearing in mind that if there were things that were left unhealed or left undone 8 years ago, they could come up again for healing now. And if there's anything you leave undone this time, they can come up in 8 years. So it's really important to actually just get in there and do this work. Now, the great thing about Venus is she wants everything to be easy for you. So the work that she brings to us is not hard to do. It's actually about just creating more ease and more joy and more flow and more peace and more harmony, more comfort and pleasure in your life. So that's really what we'll be looking at, is where you're blocked from feeling any of those emotional experiences in your life. If there's blockages that are coming up for you, that are the things that are difficult for you to navigate, that make your life disharmonious, that's where Venus will be applying herself. Now, Venus is the planet of the divine feminine, and so this isn't about taking action. It's not that masculine push of action. It's about actually pulling back and surrendering. No matter what gender you are, there's still feminine and masculine qualities within you, and so the feminine qualities are what are needed at this time for the healing process, for the journey that you're about to go on. And so it's about just taking your time and being with what comes up for you, and allowing and surrendering to the flow of life and to the flow of the universe and the flow of love. So Venus is also the planet of love and relationships, and so we can't talk about Venus without talking about those. And so this will apply to, most likely, your intimate relationships, your partnerships, your one-on-one connections, the people that you are relating with through love. But you can apply it to anywhere. So it can apply to friends, it can apply to your children, it can apply to your colleagues, anywhere, anyone that you're relating with, and even the environment around you. So Venus is even rules like your relationship with your environment. It's really that entity of, like, there's one component and there's another component, and then together they make a third component, and that's the bit that Venus is really interested in and wanting to create more ease and harmony and flow. So if there's any blockages between you and another person or you and your environment, that can come up for reflection and evaluation and healing now. Because as with any retrograde, the Venus retrograde is all about reflecting, evaluating, reviewing, redoing, working it out, and improving is about growing and improving and expanding. And so through love and through peace and harmony. So that's what will be coming up. Now Venus is doing this retrograde in Leo, and Leo is the sign of the heart. And so there'll be a lot of heart space, heartfelt energy that's coming out. So if you have any blockages in your heart space, if there's anywhere that you're that needs healing within your heart, and that will be different for everybody. It's going to express itself differently in everybody's life. You know, for some people it may be romantic love, and for others it may be creativity and your heart's true desires and what your heart is yearning for. You know, this is not a time to be using your brain to think and your way out of problems. This is about dropping into the heart space. Now also Leo is really bold and dramatic, and they're confident, and so I expect that we will see a lot of dramatic and bold displays of love and affection, and people not wanting to contain it, people wanting to really express it and to tell everybody, to scream it to the world that what they love or who they love. So I think we'll see a lot of that expression and that heartfelt communication, people really wanting to tell each other how they feel. Leo is also a super romantic sign, and so there will be a lot of romance, and that is one way you can tap into the higher manifestation of this transit is to romance others and romance yourself, and also just like engaging in things that feel romantic in whatever that means for you. Yeah, so romance will be another great way. Now also Leo in Venus is super creative, okay? So we're looking at anywhere where you may be blocked creatively, and that can be any way that you express yourself creatively. Like some people like to dance, some people like to draw, some people like to write, some people express themselves through their clothing, or, you know, it's whatever is your creative expression. So we're looking at that, how that's coming out, how you're able to, and how easily and harmoniously you're able to express yourself creatively. And if there's any blocks there, that can come up for healing, as well as your love languages and how you express love to others and how you expect love to be expressed back to you, because everyone expresses love differently. And so that's something that will come up as well for us to look at, and to work through, you know, differences in our love languages, and also about how to communicate our love languages to others. Leo is also the sign of the child, and so we can be doing some really deep inner child work during this retrograde period, and that's probably one of the best things you could do at this time in terms of healing, if you want to heal and apply yourself to this energy deliberately. Because we'll be able to tap right into our inner child. It'll be really heightened and really supported, that journey. And so this is looking at our attachment styles, okay? So the way that we attach to other people. And usually, you know, that starts in childhood. So how you attach to yourself to your primary caregivers and significant adults in your life, and then how that has now translated and transformed into how you attach yourself to partners and intimate connections and friendships and other significant people in your life as an adult. And so if there's any disharmonious elements to your attachment style, this can be really worked out through this time, and you can easily move towards a more secure attachment and undo some of the wounding around that attachment style. Now this particularly because what is happening is Venus will conjunct Lilith. Now Lilith has been in Leo doing this work for a while, and as Venus moves into that conjunction with Lilith, that happens on the 8th of August. So that first week of August and the second week of August, so it will be the most heightened, potent time for this Venus retrograde. And Lilith is the astrological body that relates to our rejected self and to ways that we have been rejected and shunned and shamed. So Lilith, when we're working with Lilith energy, shame can come up, and ways that we were shamed as a child or in significant partnerships. And also Lilith it works with sexual energy and sexual rejection and being overly sexual and all that kind of stuff. So there's stuff there you can work with the Lilith conjunction. Now again, applying that to childhood, because a lot of this stuff does come from childhood, right? So if there was something in your personality that was rejected by your caregivers in childhood, you may have suppressed that like aspect of yourself, and it becomes this inner conflict within that we live with as an adult because we're suppressing or rejecting parts of ourselves. So that's something, that's probably the crux of this Venus retrograde that will be really powerful healing if that's what you choose to engage in. The other aspect to this is that Venus retrograde will be squaring all that energy that's been happening in Taurus lately. And Taurus, that Taurus storyline that's been happening, like say March, April, May, June, was really intense. Like it was a really hyper-focused time for that Taurus storyline. So think back over what you've been going through in that time period. There may be obstacles that come up from that storyline, and remembering that Venus is really wanting you to create more ease, more harmony, more flow. So anything that does come up is for the purpose of you to overcome it and to grow and improve, and for you to create more ease in that situation, and for things to flow more harmoniously for you. So the other thing we've got on August the 2nd, we've got a full moon happening in Aquarius, opposing all the energy over in Leo, and that will be a great time to release any emotional blocks that you may be experiencing to doing this work, particularly that work I was talking about with inner child and rejection. That could be a good time to work with that. On August the 16th, we have a new moon in Leo. Now that comes straight after the new Venus cycle, which starts on August the 13th. So that will be when things start to freshen up and start to become easier. So it might feel very disharmonious in the first half of the Venus retrograde. And then from August 13th to the 16th, it will feel lighter, and we'll start to apply and integrate more lessons and see the purpose of it all. So how this all affects you personally and as individually will depend on your rising sign. So I highly recommend you watch your rising sign video, and I'll go into more detail about what that actually means specifically for each rising sign and for you personally in the tarot card readings. So let's get into it.
Before we move into the readings, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am working from today, the Kumbengi people, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I recognize their continued connection to the land and their culture, and that this is and always will be Aboriginal land.
Hi there, Aries. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. We start with Fluorite, learning. Now this Venus retrograde is happening in your 5th house, and that's the house of your heart's desires. It's the house of romance and playful love, and it's also the house of children. Now Venus rules your 7th house, so this it will involve, and it always does involve, your significant other, whether that's past, present, or future partner, and also your children. But with this learning card, I feel it's talking about at the end of the Venus retrograde, Mercury will also be doing a retrograde in Virgo. So we start Virgo season on August the 22nd, and this is your 6th house. It represents your 6th house. And Mercury, will move retrograde on August the 24th until September the 16th. So there's this overlapping period there with the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde. And so there could be a lot of learning for you, a lot of information coming through, and a lot of understanding. Your understanding will be expanded greatly thanks to this Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde energy combination. We have exchanging gifts. And soulmates. So this 5th house is a house of celebration. It's the house of parties and fun activities, and it's the house where we go when we're in that playful state. And so there may be celebrations that you're attending. It may be birthday parties, maybe places where you would exchange gifts. That can be a really beautiful time for you in this Venus retrograde. But also can be about learning how to exchange energy in a more harmonious and more peaceful and co-creative way with a soulmate. So your soulmate being that 7th house connection, Venus rules Libra, which is your 7th house. So we are talking about your partner. Now this can be, if you're single, it can be a partner coming in. Okay, and or if you're in a relationship, it's that other person, or it can be about somebody that you have split up with. There is always an exchange. There's an energetic exchange, and this is about sharing and exchanging your energy and your gifts with this person, and this person bringing that out in you. There's a lot of learning that always comes through those significant relationships. Radical acceptance. Wise leadership. The future. Now, what I'm also hearing for you is this is deeply connected with your children, and the 5th house does rule children. So if you're a parent, this energy will apply significantly with your children. And if you're looking to fall pregnant or have children, it can apply to that process as well. So if it resonates with you, there's need for leadership. There's a need for you to take that leadership role. And that's what you're learning through this connection with your children. You're learning about yourself as a wise leader. And wise leader meaning bigger, stronger, wiser, and kind, with the circle of security language there. So meaning this being radical acceptance of, and learning how to radically accept your child or the other person, if this is your significant partner, for the person that they are, for how they have shown up for you and how they show up in your life. There's a need to radically accept them instead of trying to mold them, instead of trying to change them, instead of expecting them to be a certain way. And the way that we do that is by radically accepting ourselves, by not expecting and not needing other people to be a certain way for us to be happy or for us to be content or for us to still love them. So there's this learning how to radically love unconditionally the people in our lives and moving forward into the future. So we have Page of Swords, Ten of Coins, Ace of Wands, Knight of Coins, Two of Wands, the Lovers. So if you're single and you are looking for a partner, this is the most optimal time for you to meet the person that you're looking for, the person of your dreams, your soulmate. There is literally a soulmate energy coming in, a marriage type quality coming in. We've got the 10 of Coins. This is long term. This is something that will last the test of time, will stand the test of time. With the Lovers card here as well, and the Knight of Coins, meaning that this is something that will slowly progress into this beautiful love of the future in the future. So if this is a soulmate coming in for you, that is, I really love that for you, Aries. Also, if you're already in a relationship, this is really harmonious to creating more flow and more ease within your relationship. The 5th house is the house where we romance our partner and we are romanced ourselves. So there could be so much love and so much joy and pleasure coming through for you in your relationships, and it will really help to cement this in and help to create more stability for you within your connection with this person, with who you're relating to. It's really beautiful, a really beautiful soulmate energy coming through. And the other thing is I'm seeing is that there could be messages coming through. There could be somebody wanting to communicate with you and wanting to exchange some information with you, wanting to create more balance and harmony through this acceptance, through this learning, because you've got the Ace of Wands and you've got the Two of Wands, followed by the Two of Wands straight away. So there is a new beginning here, this new vision. There's a new dream for your future, and it could be with this person. Okay, so if this person's new coming into your life, there's a vision for your future together, and they're wanting to collaborate, they're wanting to share their vision, they're wanting to talk to you about the way that this is going to unfold for them, the way they see it unfolding, and you're learning so much from this. So that's what I'm really seeing for you, Aries. At the end of the day, what it boils down to is how much you're really learning through this Venus retrograde over the next few months about your ability to connect with and to love and engage with your partner, that person on the other side of the scale from you, and sharing this vision. It's not just about having your own visions, which is a hard thing for you to do, right, Aries? Aries is very determined to meet their own goals, and so sometimes it can be very hard for an Aries to integrate somebody else into their life and to follow a shared vision. But this is a time when you will learn how to do that, because you'll care so much about this person and you want them so much to be a part of your life that you will bend and you will adapt and you will radically accept their vision and move towards this bright and beautiful future that you can have together. So the next lot of cards I'm going to pull out are going to be what healing you can access during this retrograde. And we have the Temple, the Crone, the Queen. I love these two together with that really deep feminine energy, that deeply, deeply divine feminine. And Leo being the sign of royalty, the sign of the kings and queens. And so the Queen coming out really representing that feminine side of Leo. And the Queen is just a simple reminder about checking your ego. The King in this deck represents your ego, but the Queen represents the expression of your ego, and ensuring that you're expressing yourself in a place of grace and courage and wisdom, coming from a place of real wise leadership here. So if you are the head of your family or the head of the company that you work for, if you're in a position of leadership, it's about learning how to be a wise leader and learning how to do it in a place where you're actually inspiring and motivating other people, rather than having like a tight grip on the people that are following you, your followers. And the Crone represents the deepest of our feminine energy, and it's that radical acceptance, which can be really hard to tap into. She represents that real feminine ability to just be with and just be still and allow things to be the way that they are supposed to be, or the way they are unfolding, without needing to change that in order to feel whole or in order to feel these beautiful emotions. So not needing to change anything, and understanding. The Crone understands, she's lived such a long life, and she understands the progression of life and of experiences, and so she doesn't feel any need to have a tight grip. She has her intuition to fall back on. The Queen and the Crone are very intuitive, so learning how to fall back on your intuition as you move into the future and move into this leadership position in whatever way that unfolds and means for you. And the Temple card is just a reminder as well, with that 5th house energy, is to reflect on and reevaluate what's really important to you, to come home to yourself, to your heart center. This is remembering this is all about your heart center, particularly for you, Aries, because this is in the house of your heart, and to what is your truest and deepest desires, what is really coming from within and what really matters. To come at life through that position of what matters and what's more important. And obviously, if this person is coming into your life, they will, and they're a soulmate, there's a soulmate agreement there with them, they really matter to you. And so it's about accepting that this situation requires this sort of journey, and it requires these sort of actions, and following your heart really is the overall message for you, Aries. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope that this was helpful. I hope you got something out of it, and I really look forward to seeing you again in the August forecast. Happy healing. Have a great Venus retrograde, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. We start the reading with the card of acceptance. Now, this Venus retrograde is happening in your 4th house, and it's actually hitting your 4th house, your 10th house, and also your 1st house. So those houses are called angular houses, and they are very significant houses in your chart because they're the houses where significant and key life events and life circumstances are activated. And so this Venus retrograde is going to be a very powerful initiator in your life. Now, this is reflecting the work you've been doing with all of that energy hitting your 1st house, Taurus. You know, for a long time, since 2018, you've had Uranus in there. And then last month, the last few months, so March, April, May were significant for the heavy energy there from Taurus season. And you had Jupiter moved in May into Taurus, into your 1st house, and will be there for the next 12 months. And you had the North Node there as well. The North Node will shift out in July. So by the time this Venus retrograde happens, the North Node will be out of your 1st house into your 2nd house. But so that 1st house initiation, that 1st house activation that's been happening for so long has been causing you to go through a complete overhaul of your character, of your personality, of who you are, of the way you present yourself, personal life goals. You've been doing a massive overhaul, a big change. And this is about accepting that part of yourself and accepting this new version of yourself and accepting that other people may not accept that in you, accept this change in you. It's quite hard for other people in our life, especially people who have known us for a very long time, to come to terms with changes when we make really big changes. Now, as Venus retrograde is going to be in your 4th house, meaning that it's going to signify the importance of the people in your family and the people in your home that you are living with. And that is a need. There is a need here for acceptance, especially if there is disharmonious energy coming through in that area of your life. It's also going to be signifying things that happened to you in childhood. And if you watch the introduction, I did talk a lot about this being a perfect time for inner child work, and that is doubly so for you, Taurus, because of this 4th house activation. The inner child work that you do at this time will be so powerful, and it can be a time to dive into things that happened to you in your childhood and and traumas and wounding from your childhood, particularly attaining to how you received and accepted love, or how you were allowed to give and show love. And your attachments with caregivers. There is an ability and an opportunity here to heal that through loving acceptance of what happened to you, and loving acceptance of the people that did it to you, or that caused these wounds within you, and coming to an understanding. A change in the wind. Fork in the road. Wow. So there's definitely something shifting in your reality. And if with this happening in the 4th house, it could be your physical residence. You know, there could be a change within your home environment, your home life. You may be changing your house, or you may be moving house. This is for the purpose of creating more comfort and more flow and more ease within your home environment. You may find that the people in your home change. There's changes happening there. There's a fork in the road. There's an opportunity to shift directions and where you're going. Alternatively, you know, this can happen in any way in your life where you can want to make changes. Venus is supporting that. Venus is supporting any changes for you, and accepting where these changes are taking you, and accepting what you're going to have to leave behind. Reverence. beauty. New beginnings, definitely with all this change that's coming, this change and this fork in the road, there's of course going to be a new beginning. Things are ending and things are changing and moving into a new direction for you, Taurus. I love this beauty card coming out because Venus is the planet of beauty and it's also your ruling planet. So this is about stepping into your authentic self. And that's what I was talking about with that first house activation that you've been going through for so long. This is about becoming more authentic. That change and that change of character that you've been doing with Uranus there has been causing you to become more authentic, more aligned with your true self, more aligned with your soul's true expression. And part of that is beauty. As a Taurus, born into that Taurus energy, you are the embodiment of beauty anyway, in whatever way that means for you. But also this could be about how I was talking about with your home, about beautifying your home and changing your home so it feels more beautiful. And then with the reverence card there, that is about this acceptance of yourself and acceptance of the people in your life and the situation in your life, and feeling that awe and that respect for the transformation and the respect for the energy and the work and everything that's come together, the co-creative components that have come together to bring you to where you are now. You have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Five of Swords, Queen of Coins. That's your card there, Taurus. Like I said, in this authentic, powerful self. The Magician. And the Knight of Wands. You know what, I actually just really feel like this change and this fork in the road is actually the changes you've been making on an internal level. This change that you have been creating in your character, in your personality, in the way you present to yourself to the world. This is a time, this Venus retrograde is a time to really embrace it, to really accept it, to have reverence for yourself, have reverence for your soul, like how incredible you are as a person and how incredible and how amazing your inner being is as that bigger part of yourself. So this line here with the beauty card and the Queen of Coins is really about embracing your uniqueness and about your authenticity and moving forward through this Venus retrograde. And as you move in and Venus moves direct on September 4th, and then it will move out of Leo and move into Virgo. As that starts to happen, you'll really start to be able to apply these lessons to your life and to really see and feel confident in this new person that you've been bringing through. You've been literally birthing through a brand new person, Taurus. And this is a time to celebrate. Six of Wands, to really celebrate yourself, to feel victorious, to feel confident and feel like you've succeeded. You've done a really amazing job. There's been a lot of conflict, especially into inner conflict, I feel that you've had to overcome. There's been a battle between the old self and the new self coming through, and that will continue to be felt throughout this Venus retrograde, and something that you can address now because you're co-creating. You're creating a new beginning, and this creation of this life direction, these life goals that you're creating through all this first house activation, this energies will come through more solid, in the solid alignment with your truth when you resolve these inner conflicts within yourself. So they're the changes that are coming through for you through this retrograde, is that resolution to any inner conflict. And again, like I said, this could come back to childhood and resolving conflicts that actually have been moving through your life with you ever since then. There is a journey. This fork in the road signifies there's a journey to find the missing piece, the missing component, and possibly walking away from something that is no longer serving you towards this new beginning. So there is this journey, and that can be quite uncomfortable, but remembering that Venus is wanting you to be authentic, is wanting you to live this life of pure authenticity. And you know when you're living that life, because it feels like beauty, it feels like harmony, it feels like flow, and it feels like your truth, and it feels like you are inspired and passionate. You're taking inspired action, and if you're not taking inspired action now, you will be when Venus moves direct again. This is about inspiring you to come together with your soul and to co-create the life of your dreams. And these are dreams that possibly even just a few years ago you could never even imagine, and now they're starting to become not only a reality within your imagination, but now you're getting the inspiration and the spark to move towards them and actually pull them through into your life and see them manifest on a physical level. Now, the next lot of cards I'm about to pull out are the cards that where you can tap into healing during this retrograde. We have the Threshold, the Animal, the Ring. Now, the Threshold is about crossing over into that, crossing that threshold into this new beginning, into this new way of life. And I think that this Venus retrograde will be the point of no return for you, Taurus. That's what I'm hearing them say. You have reached the point of no return in this transformation that you're taking within your character, within your personality, within your major life goals. And this marks that point, and you will cross that threshold into this brand new way of being, into this brand new personality, into this brand new person, and you will move forward now. The rest of it will be your history, and it will be something that will integrate into your life. It's a part of who you are because it's a part of your experience, but there's no going back from here. This is the fork in the road. There's no going back. Now, the Animal really represents what I'm talking about about coming back to your authentic, true self. The Animal is all about our instincts and our natural way of being, the way we move through the world naturally when we're not using our logical brain and we're not using our mind to try and figure everything out. And Venus in Leo is really powerfully about following your heart, and that Animal card is telling you to follow your heart, to align with your truth, your authenticity, and to move forward like that. And the Ring telling you to make that commitment, commit to yourself. This whole retrograde is really about your relationship with yourself. That can involve your family, and it's definitely going to involve diving into childhood, but this is really asking you to commit to you and accept this journey you've been on, especially if you've been really struggling with this journey and you found it very emotional, like a lot of emotional turmoil too, because you are a fixed sign, Taurus. It is hard for you to change. You can be very stubborn and stay in those comfort zones. But like I said, there's no going back now. They've crossed that threshold, and it's time to accept this new way of life and this new person that you are, and make that commitment to continuing to move forward. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, Taurus, and I hope that that was helpful for you. I hope that you got something out of this. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I look forward to seeing you again in the August forecast. Take care. Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to your Venus Retrograde Tarot card reading. We start off the reading with Joy, the Opal. Beautiful. And joy, you know, it really is the crux of the Leo energy. Leo is an inspiration to the world through this feeling of creating and inspiring joy in other people. That's why they're clown and the actor and they do the performances. It's for the purpose of bringing joy into the world. And so that's a really powerful way that you can tap into this energy. I know that things have been really heavy for you for a very long time, Gemini, with a lot of that 12th house energy being activated in Taurus for you, and you've gone through a hard slog for quite a few months now. But this is a reminder that you can tap into joy and you can find joy in your life. And Venus is really wanting to bring you that. Venus is wanting to bring you joy and peace and harmony. She's wanting to find ease for you. Now, Venus is moving retrograde in your 3rd house. So this is going to be about how you communicate. It's going to be about how you speak, how you talk to other people, how you talk to yourself. It's about embedding more loving energy into your communications, and also having people, the way other people communicate to you as well, coming from in a more loving way. Venus in the 3rd house is also about your thought habits and improving your thought habits around love and around particularly self-love. I feel that really strongly for you. There's a deep need for more self-love for you at the moment, especially going through that ascension that you're going through with the 12th house. With it being so rough and hard on you, it's really for the purpose of your spiritual evolution, but it's been really tough. And so there's this need to be gentle with yourself and be more loving in your thoughts and in your words, in your communications, and tapping into your own joy. Strong deck. So we got To the Sea and Co-create. This To the Sea card has been coming out for a lot of other signs, and it's really just an indication that you're going on a journey here. You're going on this emotional journey with this Venus retrograde, and it's taking you to new places. You're exploring new places with this sense of joy and bringing more loving ease into your life. Now the Co-create card here is bringing it back to that 12th house, and this Venus retrograde will be squaring the 12th house. And I feel like that is going to bring up obstacles that are going to be coming from, maybe you'll be feeling disconnected from your higher power, from your connection with divine, with source energy, or disconnected from this evolution that you have been going through. And it's a reminder that you are co-creating with spirit, you're co-creating with source. And the way that we co-create, the way that we create our own reality is through our words, is through our thoughts, being in alignment with our emotions and our feelings, and then those coming from our beliefs. So this is that thought process component of the creative process. Okay, so it's getting your thoughts and your words in alignment with what you're trying to create, and the way you do that is by speaking and thinking in a joyful way. What brings you joy? Talk about what brings you joy more. Talk about and think about the things that bring you joy more than you think about anything else. That's the way that you can co-create more joy in your life. Divine wisdom, liberation, flow. So the divine wisdom, again, is that co-creation. It's co-creating with source energy. This is really powerful time for you, Gemini, and it has been for a long time, even though it's been feeling, I mean, an awakening is always challenging, and so it's been challenging for you, but it's been about matching and coming together with your inner being and with the divine, and co-creating on that level. And so this is another layer of that storyline. Now, liberation, there is a freedom that is coming through. You're being liberated. And in particular, I feel when all that energy in Taurus starts to shift into your first house, into Gemini, you will feel this liberation that comes through that. But that will take another 12 months or so to feel. So this is about preparing yourself for this liberation, preparing yourself for this new person, this new way of being that will be coming through, and that will last for a long time. So this is deep work you're doing here, Gemini. This is deep work you're doing here, Gemini, and it is all for the purpose of freeing yourself. There is opportunity here for you to heal your thought processes and heal thought patterns, like unhealthy thought patterns that are and toxic thought patterns and toxic way of speaking that are holding you back and that are blocking your ascension and blocking yourself from feeling joy. So there's a liberation opportunity there. There's an opportunity to free yourself by transcending your communications, words and thoughts through this process of love and creating more flow and peace and harmony, which is always what Venus wants for you. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, Ten of Wands, Queen of Coins, Three of Swords, one more, Judgment. Okay, the Queen of Cups here is a reminder to follow your emotions. So this is not a time to be thinking, and I know that I'm saying that to a Gemini, and I also understand that this is your third house. Okay, this is the house of your mind, of your mental habits. So it's highly activated, and it's also the house where you feel the most comfortable to explore. So it's trusting that you've already established good habits and trusting that you have the natural innate ability to work with your mind. Your curious nature is always going to bring you back to that. So using that curious nature and using that mind to dive deeply into your emotions, to go on this emotional journey. Now the Queen of Cups, she operates from her emotions. She doesn't use her thoughts. She chooses her direction. She chooses her life through how it makes her feel. And she's also very compassionate. She's also very gentle on herself. So trusting that the divine is talking to you through your emotions, and that's how you apply your thoughts. When you align your thoughts and your emotions, that's how we co-create. So this is what you're learning with the Hierophant here. There is a divine wisdom coming through with the divine wisdom and the Hierophant to help you co-create, but you need to match it with your emotions. You need to align both your thoughts and your emotions, and that helps you to translate that into reality, to translate that into something that's tangible, that you can feel and taste and touch. So also the Queen of Cups, and you've also got the Queen of Coins here. So that feminine energy coming through, that's that beautiful feminine energy that Venus will give you. Venus gives you that energy to sit with and be with yourself and be compassionate and be gentle on yourself and love yourself and be joyful and allow yourself the time to be joyful. We've got the Ten of Wands here. So this liberation, this journey you're going on is liberating you from things that are weighing you down. And what I'm hearing is it's bitterness. There's bitterness that's weighing you down, like a jaded sensation, like the world is out to get you, or that you've been jaded by something that's happened to you, and there's a need to let that go. That is weighing so heavily on you. It is blocking you from your joy, and so you have this opportunity to move through this Venus retrograde and be liberated from that. Remembering with the Queen of Coins here to tap into that Taurus energy. That's what's coming from this awakening that you have been moving through for so long. And the flow here, and go to see we're flowing with the current. So we're literally flowing downstream. We're not going against the current. We're trying to go downstream and flow with the current and allow the current to sweep us and take us. So remembering that Venus is not a planet of action or control. It's a feminine planet. So it's about flowing and allowing things to take you and feeling your way through the situation. So there is this disconnect, Three of Swords, from that flow that needs to be healed for you to move through this divine wisdom and move in the direction that it's trying to push you. If you're resisting that is what's stopping this flow. And with the Judgment card, it's this reflection around and evaluating how well you're doing. It's taking that time out, taking stock to evaluate how in or out of the flow you are and what you can do to get back into the flow and to be co-creating with source and co-creating through your own version of joy. Now, the next lot of cards I'm about to pull out is going to be talking about the healing that you have access to with the Venus retrograde and the way that you can manage this situation. So we have the unseen, the heart, the seed. So I'm really just going to be repeating myself here. The unseen, again, that connection with the divine wisdom, the divine ascension, that co-creating with what you can't see, the stuff behind the veil that you've been working on for so long with that Taurus energy, that 12th house energy. So that's all about the 12th house. It's really pushing you. It's really wanting you to radically accept and let go of any resistance that's blocking you from flowing, going with the flow of this journey. And that is about tapping into your heart space. And I've said in the introduction, Venus in Leo is all about the heart. You're not going to get anywhere by using your intellectual mind. Unfortunately, Gemini, I know that's really hard for you to hear, but it's time to follow your heart, and you will know, you'll be able to let go of these blocks and be liberated from these blocks when you tap into your heart space. So taking that time during this retrograde period to quiet the mind and listen to your heart, because that's where the seed has been planted. That's where this will grow. It's growing within your heart. And if you stop and listen and you use Queen of Cups energy to listen to how you're feeling and listen to your heart, it will tell you what's happening. It will tell you where to go. And most likely you will hear it through the feeling and the vibrational essence of joy. Whew, that's a powerful reading, Gemini. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm so grateful to be on this co-creative journey with you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your time. And please do give this a like, subscribe to my channel, share this around, and I look forward to seeing you again in the monthly forecasts. Take care. Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. And we got expanded awareness. Now, this Venus retrograde is happening in your second house, and this house covers many aspects of your life, but it covers your sense of safety and security and your feelings of comfort. Venus is actually the ruler of the second house, the natural ruler of the second house. So this is a house where she feels really comfortable in, and she can expand a lot for you in your life. She can expand your sensations of comfort and security. This is also about your finances. The second house is about income and financial and money and flow into your life, your abundance. And Venus is the planet of money and of abundance, and so there can be a lot of financial flow. But with this expanded awareness card here, it's about finding the awareness of where this money can flow from, or where there's blocks in your flow of income. It's also about your values. The second house is all about your core values, and so whatever it is that you value, it doesn't have to be money and it doesn't have to be love, but it can be whatever it is that you value, and that therefore what you're motivated to move towards, what you're motivated to achieve. So if that is the case for you, it is this expanded awareness may be around your values, and you may not even be aware of what your values are. And if that's the case, it's a really good time to take stock and to sit down and reflect on what's important to you, what guides your behavior, what is guiding your decisions and guiding you towards certain avenues in your life and towards meaning and purpose in your life. So our values really are reflected in where we spend our money and where we spend our time. So if that's a good place to start, is looking at where you spend your money and where you spend your time, and evaluating why. What are you getting out of that, and what does that mean? And that will show you what your values are, and through that expanded awareness you can move through this Venus retrograde journey. So we have truth be told, And we got the serendipity card there. So this expanded awareness that's coming in is clarity. Is clarity around something that has been unclear in the past. Something has been not working or hasn't been, there's been blockages. Okay, there's been blockages, or there will be blockages throughout the retrograde, and as Venus starts to move direct, you'll understand and there'll be clarity and you'll get to the truth of the matter. And with the serendipity card, I mean, Venus is a benefic planet. Venus brings a lot of gifts, and she brings a lot of positive energy and creating more abundance and blessings for you. She brings blessings, and so you can look out for these times when blessings sort of drop in to your life. This could be a really positive time, especially while Venus is moving direct and when she turns direct again at the end of her retrograde. We got romantic love, wisdom, forgiveness. So Venus always represents romantic love. So the money situation, so it could cover two situations. It could cover your money, and it could also cover romantic love. So with these values, it's also, what do you value in romantic situations? What do you value in your love life? And so that's coming up. There's more awareness, and there's more, there'll be more clarity around that. And with the wisdom card, there is this square happening between the Venus retrograde and Jupiter being over in your 11th house in Taurus. It's been highly activated for a while. So since March, April, May, Jupiter moved in there in May and will be there until May next year. And so Jupiter is bringing this wisdom, and with that square happening with the Venus retrograde, this wisdom may come through challenges. You may be presented with challenges, and they may be obstacles and things that you need to overcome, but through that overcoming those challenges, you'll have a greater awareness and you'll have more wisdom to move forward in this Taurus storyline as well as this Leo storyline. And then forgiveness as well. With Venus, there's always this element of love and compassion and this gentle feminine healing energy, and that can be applied to anywhere where you're feeling there is a need for forgiveness. So we have the Queen of Coins, the Page of Wands, Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, wow, lots of wands, 10 of Wands, and 3 of Wands, wow. There's a lot of energy here. There's that's that Leo fiery archetype. There can be a lot of moving forward here, a lot of momentum happening here, moving you towards your goals. With the Queen of Coins here, this is that Taurus, this card that represents Taurus, and it's that Taurus storyline. So if there is somebody coming into your life, a romantic partner with romantic love, they'll most likely come to you through a social network, through your friends, through that 11th house storyline. So it could be within your work environment, within your colleagues, so your broader network, your community. There could be somebody coming forward and revealing their true feelings for you. And if you watch the introduction, I did say about big displays of love, and so this may be unexpected. This person, if they're coming through to display their love, present their love to you, then they really mean it. They're Queen of Coins. They're serious. They really want you to know how they feel, and they want this to be the genuine, real deal thing. They don't have to be female either. It can be either gender. With the Page of Wands here, it could happen at a time, they may not even be expecting to say it to you. It may just happen. It's just they're just sparked to say it in the heat of the moment. With that serendipity, there could be just this beautiful weaving of an orchestrating from the divine of you two coming together. Of there's a moment, and I feel like this really powerful moment, and it will just happen. And if you feel like you want to be the person to tell the truth about how you feel, then look for that moment, look for that serendipitous moment that can come through where you can be sparked to and ignited into talking about and telling that person how you feel. The Two of Wands here, there is this new vision, this vision that you've got that you're moving towards. Again, this could be financial or material. There's values and this vision that's coming out for you. And I think that if this is another person, the Queen of Wands, I think this person is really inspired to move forward with you in life and to move on this vision, to move forward in this vision. I feel really positive about them, although they are quite fiery. I feel like they have a lot of heat about them, and they will push you forward. Again, this could be somebody who's been placed in your path. With all that 11th house energy, you are dealing with lots of different people within the community or within your place within the community, and these things may just happen, and it seems like it was just an act of fate to put you on that path so that you can see your vision and you can move towards your vision with other people, because these other people in the 11th house, they're the people that you need to take your vision to the next level. And this forgiveness card here, with the truth be told, there is a need to forgive somebody. Possibly somebody will come to you with telling their truth and telling you something that you don't like to hear, and there is a need to lay down that heavy burden. Maybe it is you telling the truth and asking for forgiveness because it's been such a heavy burden to carry and not tell, or to carry this secret. So if there is something that you feel that you need forgiveness for, it is a really beautiful time, a beautiful opportunity. Through that Venus retrograde, people will be feeling softer and more gentle and more able to offer forgiveness at this time. And even if they are not able to offer forgiveness, at least you will feel the sense of relief from all of that heavy energy with the 10 of Wands, because we're moving forward. You're expanding, Cancer, okay? So you're expanding in a new direction. 3 of Wands. You can't expand while you're carrying that heavy weight. So we need to put it down so that you can grow. That you can grow either your finances and your abundance, or you can grow your life path and your purpose. Now, the next lot of cards that I'm going to get out for you are the cards that tell you where you can go for your healing through this journey, like what you can apply this healing energy to. So we got the Mystic, the Offering, and the Desert. Now, I think with this Mystic card, this is referring to you. And if you see that there's these two eyes with the butterfly, and this is referring to that expanded awareness. As you move through and you gain more clarity and the truth is revealed either to you or through you, then there will be a transformation that will be transformed into nectar, okay? So into something that will be highly beneficial for you. And it can also be letting down this painful burden that you've been carrying. And once you lay that down, you can transform, and your energy can transform, and you can create more ease and more flow, and you can expand further on your path by creating that clarity, by aligning with truth and seeing things clearly. And with the Offering card as well, there is something for you. If it can be you offering to somebody else, it could be you offering forgiveness to somebody else, offering up truth to somebody else, or you could be receiving that truth or that forgiveness from somebody else. And this is about really making that sacrifice and giving up that burden, that heavy burden, for the purpose of creating more expanded awareness and creating more peace and ease in your life. Because when you have the Desert card coming out, it's telling you that something is missing, that there is a dryness in your life, where things are not flourishing and not growing. But you have the 3 of Wands here and you have the 2 of Wands, so there is something that is desperately trying to grow in your life. It's desperately trying to come through, but there is a dryness, and so the ground needs to be watered. And that is what this Venus retrograde will be all about. It will be watering the ground, for making way and preparing the soil for this expansion, for this growth to come through. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, Cancer. I hope this resonated with you. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. And thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. And I look forward to seeing you again in the monthly forecasts. Take care. Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your Venus Retrograde Tarot card reading. So the first card we get is Ancient Wisdom. Now, this retrograde is happening in your first house. It's happening in your sign. It's always a really beautiful time when we have Venus traveling through the zodiac with us in our first house. It creates more ease and more feelings of harmony within your body and within your person, and everybody recognizes that and everybody feels that as there's a gentleness. This really is in the ultimate self-love care plan. This is about loving yourself, about nurturing yourself, about the relationship you have with yourself, and tapping into your ancient wisdom of yourself and the ancient wisdom that comes from the healing processes and the healing and the caring of self, that deep level of self-love and self-respect and value and self-esteem, okay? And creating more harmonious relationship with who you are. Now, this retrograde will be activating your first house and your 7th house, but it also be squaring the 10th house, so activating that 10th house as well. Now, those houses are your angular houses, and they're really significant houses in your chart. They're the houses when major life events take place, major life experiences happen to us. So this will be massively impactful on your life and powerful influence on you, Leo. And this is, tapping into that ancient wisdom that you hold within yourself. The more that you love yourself, the more that you can tap into that. We have Between Worlds, Round and Round. Okay, so you may be feeling between worlds at this time, especially through the retrograde period before Venus moves direct again. There may be this feeling like, and if you actually look at this card, this flamingo is going from this dark, dull space into this bright, beautiful space, and she has a crown on her head and there's celebration all around her. So this is literally what you're doing. You're stepping out of this sort of energy and stepping into, you're putting your crown back on, you're straightening your crown, Leo. You are literally the zodiac sign that rules royalty, the kings and queens, and so you are a king or a queen. And it's time to put that crown on your head and straighten it and step forward into life that way. Now, with the Round and Round card as well, this is, as I said in the introduction, if you watch that, this is about spiraling over similar themes that have come up, repetitive themes. So think back to 2015, 8 years ago, and you'll be covering similar themes, and think back to how you handled this situation and what you did well and what you can improve on, because the next layer of this journey is here for you, Leo. And we have Miracles, Potential, and Generosity. When you tap into this way of being, this powerful way that you and this powerful love for yourself, when you have strong self-esteem and strong self-confidence and self-respect, and you feel and you can trust yourself, you open yourself up to miracles because you're in flow with your inner being, you're in flow with yourself, you're in alignment. Miracles can literally come through into your life, and you have all the potential. It's all there for you, and it's all coming from within. The potential's all like within you, but you have to love yourself. You have to nurture that. There can't be components of self-abandonment or self-loathing. Otherwise, you block yourself off from the flow of your potential and of these miracles into your life. And with the Generosity card, I feel like that is talking about the Mercury retrograde. So at the same time, we have this overlapping. So Virgo season starts on August the 22nd, and then Mercury will move retrograde on August the 24th. So right at the end of the Venus retrograde, Mercury will be retrograde as well, and that's happening in your 2nd house. So there'll be this ability to sort of mold and apply this wisdom that is coming through for you into how you, to your core values and to your sense of security and to your finances as well, creating more generosity. But generosity can only flow to you if you're in this space. It can flow through you if you're in this space. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And so to be able to be generous and to be able to support others and be able to use this energy for the purpose of what it's supposed to be, right? Leo, as a Leo, the whole point to you is to be a shining light of inspiration to the world through being in alignment with yourself. You inspire others to be joyful, to be what it is that they're supposed to be as well. And that is your gift. That is your gift that you can give, and you can generously give to others, but you can't do that if you are being hard on yourself. So Venus will be bringing in that lesson. Venus will be showing you where you're cutting yourself off, where you're blocking yourself from your potential, and where you're blocking yourself from the pure love of self that brings you into this alignment. So we have the Four of Wands, Two of Coins, Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Four of Coins. So starting with the Four of Wands, I feel like that there is a need for you to celebrate, and to celebrate who you are as a person, and celebrate how far you've come. That celebration, that really honoring and acknowledging self, that's what brings you, you can step you into this new realm, into this bright world, and allows you to tap into this flow and into this alignment with miracles flowing through you. If miracles do come through in your life, because Venus is a benefic planet, Venus can bring us lots of gifts. And so if that happens for you and that feels like miracles are appearing in your reality, it's important to celebrate them, to celebrate even the smallest achievements, so that you can continue to perpetuate that cycle, continue to perpetuate that momentum that is coming through for you. With the Two of Coins, we're trying to balance, we're trying to create some sort of balance. And if you're going round and round and round in circles, then this balance can't come through, this abundance can't come through. And the abundance that is looking to come through is based on your level of self-worth. Okay, so as we move into that Mercury retrograde and we move into Virgo season at the end of August, you'll be applying all of this energy, this Venus retrograde energy, to your level of self-worth as well. And when we're looking at our level of self-worth, there needs to be this love for self and this degree of self-worth, because that correlates with how much you're worth in the material level as well, and how much income you can make, and how much abundance, how many gifts can come through. So what the gifts that Venus can offer you, and particularly the gifts that Jupiter can offer you, with Jupiter being in that 10th house for the next sort of 10 to 11 months, Jupiter being there, there's a lot of gifts coming through attaining to your professional life, your career, and your finances. Now that can be blocked here. There's definitely this tension happening with that square, and it could be blocked through your own view of who you are and your own views of self. So it's really important to do this work with Venus now to increase your sense of self-worth and increase the love that you have for yourself, so you can increase every part of your life, because you're clearly not seeing yourself clearly. The Eight of Swords, there is a blind spot that you are not seeing, and that's what's keeping you stuck between these two worlds. Your potential, you have so much potential, but you have to tap into it. Nobody else can do that for you. You have to take that blindfold off, and you have to be able to see yourself clearly for who you are, see the treasure within you, and then act in that way, act on that, for that to, take that inspired action that comes through Knight of Wands. that comes through, that potential that comes through when you take that blindfold off. Not only are you not seeing it, but you're also not acting on it. So as you move through this ability to love yourself more, and ability to have more value for self and more respect for yourself, you'll start to see your potential, and you'll start to be able to take action on it. And again, like I said with this round and round card, it's something that you've been going over and over and over. And every time you go over it, you either improve a little bit, or you just come up against obstacles. Eight of Swords, these are obstacles that your mind is putting in place because you don't believe in yourself, because you don't trust yourself, and you don't value yourself enough. Now with the Page of Swords here, this generosity may even just be words. Somebody may come and have beautiful, generous words to you, but you have to be open to receiving them. So other people can't really get through to you about how worthy you are and how beautiful you are and how much you're worth love and appreciation unless you feel that yourself. So when you start to feel more loving and more love towards yourself, you may find that other people, Page of Swords, want to express that to you as well. The Venus in Leo will have people wanting to express their heart to you. So there may be conversations that come up and people really wanting to say, look, I really love this about you. I really appreciate this about you. And it's really about you accepting that generosity. That's them being generous, and to be able to receive those kinds of words. Because Four of Coins, if you're closed off to that, you won't be able to hear it, and you won't be able to use it to raise your vibration. And we'll be going round and round and round on this topic as well, because there's blocks, there's resistance there to believing it, because you don't believe it for yourself. And so that's what the Venus retrograde in the first house is wanting for you to overcome those obstacles. I think on August the 2nd, there is a full moon that's happening in the 7th house. So, and that's somebody close to you, somebody significant to you may offer up these words. They may offer you some emotional guidance or some emotional triggers that help you to really look at yourself clearly, look at yourself and take this blindfold off and see yourself for how you really are. And I think that it will get easier as we move into the next cycle, and particularly from your new moon that happens in your first house in Leo on August the 16th. That's when things will start to get easier. They'll start to lift, and you'll feel more ease in this journey. Now, the next lot of cards I'm about to pull out for you is telling you how you can tap into the healing of Venus retrograde for the purpose of your expansion in this, through this transit. Oh, you got the river. The Mother. And the Orphan. So the river is about, the card of the river is about this overwhelming flow of emotions. And so that is really what you need to tap into. Tap into your emotional guidance system and allow your emotions to flow through you. Now this river card, it is about washing away anything that no longer serves you, washing away anything that's no longer necessary, and it allows us to accept our mistakes and accept things that we've done, the things that we are ashamed of. So there's this Lilith conjunction that's happening in your first house with this Venus retrograde, and I think this will be a really powerful and potent time for you to do that inner child work, to do that go into your inner depths and look at times when you have feel ashamed and feel shame, because shame is such a powerful emotion. Shame is an instinctive emotion, so it actually is something that we can't control, and it washes over our system. You know that if you've ever felt that feeling of like the blood draining out of your body when you've been ashamed or you've been embarrassed by something, is that feeling, okay, that this card is signifying. That's that feeling that Lilith really wants to talk to you about and really wants you to heal, because those kinds of feelings, particularly if you've had time when the feeling of shame has been that intense, those kind of feelings, they get really trapped in our system, and they get trapped in our nervous system, and then they stay with us. It's that voice, you know, when you try and take a step forward in something in life that goes, stop, remember what happened last time, or you don't want to embarrass yourself. Okay, it's that voice. It's trying to protect us, so it doesn't want us to ever feel that way again, that deep shame ever again. So it's really trying to protect us, but it's not healthy, because those situations may not happen again. And if you don't move through situations where you're vulnerable, then you can't improve, and you can't flow, and you can't create more things in life. So there's a powerful opportunity for you to heal shame during this cycle as well, and to dive into those really deep energies that are blocking you from feeling this love for yourself. Okay, so that we kind of hold on to that shame and tell ourselves we're not lovable because we don't want to hurt that much ever again. But it's time to let that go, Leo. This is a really powerful opportunity for you to let go of those painful moments and painful memories, so you don't have to keep going around and around with them. Okay, those are the kinds of things that do go around and around in your mind. And the river is here. It's here to wash that away. It's here to take away that pain and transform it. And the way you do that is by going towards the emotion, not running away from it. You need to go towards the emotion. You need to allow yourself to fully feel, if it is shame, to fully feel it and move through it, so you get through to that breakthrough point, and you break through the emotion and it subsides. And that's how we shift emotions out of our body. And then you can start to be nurturing, and you can start to mother yourself, literally mother yourself through this. So if you're doing that inner child work, you're mothering yourself through these shameful moments, and giving yourself that love and that care that you may have not received in that time. And especially if you were really hard on yourself when those things came up, it's time to be gentle and to be compassionate. The mother is the card of compassion, to apply compassion to that inner child, or to that inner space within yourself that has been holding on to that shame for so long. And with the orphan card here as well, it's also signifying this Lilith conjunction. Leo, this is going to be such a huge pivotal moment in your life. This is going to be so big for your transformation and for your evolution, to heal times when you have been rejected, and heal childhood traumas particularly, and any trauma that came from your family or from times of when you were rejected. Even if you had a really beautiful childhood, we have childhood wounds around rejection anyway, because you can't really live a life without somebody rejecting you in some way. It's just human nature, and those things get trapped in our bodies, and they feel really intense. And again, like I said, it's a protective defense mechanism that keeps reminding us, and even will make it seem worse than it was, so that we don't put ourselves in a situation where we could be rejected again, because rejection is such a painful emotion for human beings. So this is a really powerful time to go in and to do that healing work, and to work with aspects of yourself that you've rejected as well, and to go in and to sit with those aspects, and to hear them out, and to give them validation and compassion, and to nurture them back. See, if you look at this mother card, there's a little pearl in there, and so the mother is nurturing that pearl. And that's what you will find when you move into these spaces that you've been holding and that have been trapped. You'll find the pearl of wisdom. You'll find this potential that is within. It will be trapped within all those layers of shame and all those defensive protective mechanisms that you've wrapped it up in. And the only way you find that is by going into the emotions, and by being with it, being present with yourself, being present with your emotions, and applying insane amounts of compassion to yourself, Leo. So this is huge. This is a huge transit for you. Very powerful reading, and I hope that you can do this work. It's not easy. It's very hard, and I know a lot of Leos won't, and that makes me feel really sad. So I hope for you listening to this, I hope you can do this work, and I hope that you can move forward with an incredible amount of healing after Venus moves direct. So please, if you feel inspired to and feel comfortable to, please do share your story in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for being a part of this journey and coming on this journey with me. And I look forward to seeing you again in the monthly forecasts. Take care. Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to your Venus Retrograde Tarot card reading. And we open up the reading with the card of grounding, hematite. Now, this Venus retrograde for you is happening in Leo, which represents your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house where it's the house of the undoing. It's the house where we start making way for new things to come into our life in terms of undoing what was the old structures, undoing the old things that no longer serve us moving forward. And so when we finish a cycle, like the 12th house is the last house in the chart, and so that's like the ending of a cycle and preparing for the beginning of a new cycle. Now the 12th house is the house where we ascend. It's the house of creativity and of our imagination. It's also the house of connecting with the divine. And so during this time, as you're moving through the energy that comes up, which I do feel for you, Virgo, will be quite intense, there will be a need for grounding. There will be a need for tapping into the available resources of Mother Earth and keeping your feet on the ground is what I'm hearing. So the 12th house is the house of fantasies and illusions and the mystical in the highest manifestation. It's how we connect to the divine. And so with the Venus retrograde there, you'll be looking at how you relate with the divine, how you relate with higher power, and how you connect through the feeling and the vibration of love to something bigger than yourself. Now, when we are in that state, in that mode, it can be hard to stay grounded in reality. And we actually do have the full moon that happens in Aquarius on the 2nd of August that will be opposing this energy over in your 6th house. That's the house of the physical reality. And so there will be a battle, I think, for you, Virgo, during this time to keep your one foot in the physical realm. Okay, so it's kind of like, I feel like you'll be floating off into the divine, into that realm beyond the veil, which isn't such a bad thing. And where we do deal with our subconscious and things that will be healing. The healing that will be available for you will be through your subconscious and through going into and applying yourself to the energy of your subconscious. We have yin. Happy. Now, Venus is the planet of the divine, so she's the planet of the yin. If you're looking at the yin and the yang representing the masculine, yin representing the feminine, and so you'll be tapping into that feminine energy. Whether that's difficult for you or easy for you, that's going to be a personal thing. So if you struggle to be in your divine feminine energy, meaning if you struggle to sit and surrender, big component of the 12th house is to surrender, and that is such a feminine thing to do. So if you really struggle with surrendering, then this may be challenging for you. This could be a challenging transit for you. And also with the happy, I mean, Leo, right? Leo is the zodiac sign of playfulness and joy and happy. And so with that being in your 12th house, sometimes Virgos can keep that side of themselves really hidden. The 12th house is what we keep hidden. And so that is something that you can play with and express outwardly in this way to tap into the energy that's available for you during this transit. Devotion. Forgiveness. Communication. Devotion is just exactly what I've been saying about with that connection to a higher power. There's this higher power that you can tap into during this time, remembering to stay grounded as you tap into it and to be able to ground that higher like frequency into your life. So you actually have an opportunity to cement this in, this new connection, this new frequency and energy wave that's coming through this Venus retrograde can actually translate through you as a vessel and into your physical reality. And that's the potential that's available for you here. With forgiveness, okay, so this is particularly attaining to the Venus and Leo conjunction that's happening around August the 8th. So the first couple of weeks of August will be this time to work on this energy. And the 12th house is where we put all of our trapped traumas and our trapped shame and our trapped, and so with trapped wounding, and with that Lilith there, this is about places where you've been rejected, places where you've rejected aspects of yourself and pushed it down into your subconscious, with the 12th house being the house of subconscious. So there's a need for forgiveness here. There's a need to forgive whoever it was that rejected you. Most likely you'll be looking at childhood and childhood traumas and childhood wounds, but also looking at people in your significant relationships after childhood that have continued that pattern and continue to emphasize a pattern within your life, but also remembering that you must forgive yourself as well. Now, this is a really personal transit for you, Virgo, because Mercury, your ruling planet, will be moving retrograde at the same time. So we begin Virgo season on August the 22nd, and then on August the 24th, Mercury moves retrograde in Virgo, in your own sign. So you'll be dealing with yourself very personally, and you'll be doing a lot of that applied work. So this work that you do with the Venus retrograde will translate into that Mercury retrograde sign work as well. And so looking at forgiving yourself for rejecting yourself, forgiving yourself for letting people treat you the way they did, that kind of stuff. With communication as well, the communication with the divine, communication with others. 12th house is what we keep secret. So there may be this trauma that comes out about communicating things that you feel really unsafe communicating with others. And it's about finding people that you can and you do feel safe to communicate that side of yourself with. Knight of Wands. Page of Cups. Five of Coins. Two of Swords. Four of Coins. Seven of Coins. So this is really about that playful energy that I was talking about. The happy with the Page of Cups here and devotion is finding that playfulness that you bring, you draw in that energy. You know, we're talking about grounding the divine into life. So it's actually applying it to your daily processes, your daily functions, the way you present yourself on a daily basis, and applying more joy, more playfulness, more childlike ease. Venus will really want that for you, especially with that Leo component of bringing more happiness through taking your devotion to source, to spirit, to God, to whatever it is that you call it, taking it less seriously, but realizing that taking it less seriously doesn't mean that you're not doing the work and not staying devoted. It's actually, it can come through so playfully, and playful joy and ease can be another way of experiencing the divine. It can be a really beautiful way to experience the divine. And if you sit back and you tap into that playfulness, that playful part of you, Virgo, and also, you know, playing through creativity, playing through your creative hobbies as well would be a really big one for you. If you sit back and you play for that, and you stop, not pushing to try and create anything. It's just being playful for the sake of being playful. This is where this inspiration, this passion comes through. It's when the divine can communicate with you, is when you stop trying to create and stop trying to push and just be playful for the simple purpose of being playful, of the joy that you experience from being playful and the ease that comes through from that playful attitude. With the Five of Coins here, this is that rejection I was talking about. So this is what needs to be forgiven when people have rejected you. maybe through childhood, maybe through significant relationships. And then, therefore, when you've rejected yourself, you know, as children, we definitely do that with our primary caregivers, don't like aspects of us and don't accept or embrace parts of us. We reject those parts as a way of survival. It's a way of making those primary caregivers love us. But those rejected parts of us, they don't go anywhere. They stay within your system, and they act in the unconscious. And this is how we get these unconscious behaviors that come out. They're the rejected parts of ourselves. And so we still have them, we still display them, but they create inner conflict, okay? And so it's that conflict within yourself internally that Venus wants you to clean up throughout this retrograde period. So anywhere where you're feeling conflict internally and will come up, with emotions will come up, and it's about rejection, and the way that you overcome this is sitting with, you know, the yin aspect. It's not pushing, it's just allowing it to be, like allowing it, that rejected part of yourself, to exist, and validating it. You know, if it's something like, say for example, if it's a creative interest that you had that your caregivers didn't like, so then you haven't engaged in it. Maybe it's creativity itself and people rejected that within you, you know, you weren't allowed to explore that. And then, but it's about allowing and just being with that part of yourself, the yin component, just being with it and accepting and validating that that's a valid part of you. It's an okay part of you to exist, and actually it's really beautiful. And you may even find there's a lot of wisdom in there. And forgiving yourself for letting these people reject you and reject that part of yourself, but also forgiving the people who rejected you. And this is opening you up to a brand new way of viewing the situation, one that's much happier. That forgiveness will create this happiness, okay? With that Two of Swords, there's a new decision that you can make. You can move forward and release and surrender up this rejected component of yourself. And with the communication, the Four of Coins here, the Four of Coins is sort of signifying parts of ourselves that we keep hidden. Again, the 12th house, we keep hidden. This like little bit of wisdom in here that we're not allowing other people to see. You will be challenged, particularly when Mercury moves retrograde in your first house. You will be challenged to communicate these parts of yourself. It's a very vulnerable place to be, Virgo, and I feel like the only way through will be to engage in vulnerability, to release this fear and to be vulnerable with trusting yourself, trusting that you can pick the right people who you're capable of being vulnerable with. And it's again not pushing with the yin component here, not pushing, but communicating these aspects of yourself. And even if it means communicating to the other person that has rejected you and saying what you've been holding back on, that is going to be so healing for you. And if you don't feel up to actually expressing to them, you can even write it down. You can journal. The 12th house is a beautiful place to do journaling. So you can do journaling and communicate it to the universe, you know, with your devotion, communicate it to the universe, to the divine. If it's not safe, or if you're not feeling comfortable enough to communicate it to the person who's actually hurt you. And through this looking at this, the Seven of Coins, this is an investment. You're investing in yourself. Again, with the Mercury retrograde happening in your first house, this is all coming back to self. And so this is an investment in yourself. When you trust yourself and you back yourself and you actually communicate it and you walk your talk in real time, it will make you feel very happy. It will make you feel happy because all of these things are in alignment, right? So they're in alignment. There's this improvement. This is how you tap into a happier, more fulfilling way of life, because with the 12th house, you end one cycle and you start a new one. So this can be a new one that taps into more happiness and more joy for you, Virgo. So these next cards that I'm about to pull out, they look at how what you can apply yourself to for the healing process. And we have the Vision, the King, the Seed. So the Vision really is about that 12th house energy. It's about the imagination. It's about what you can bring through. It's about trust and what you can bring through from the divine. It's about your life path, your soul's journey, okay? And what we do when we get the vision card comes out, it's about looking at what creates this playful energy within us. And it's a really good time to look back over your childhood. Like I said at the beginning, Venus retrograde is a good time to do that inner child work. And it's a good time to look back at the childhood and look at what you enjoyed as a child, like what kind of things you really enjoyed and you really loved as a child. And that will be a good indicator. It's showing you where you're kind of cutting yourself off, where you're blocking yourself from this stream of consciousness, from this from the Venus, the Venus pleasure and ease from coming out, and this way of the divine getting through to you, that creative side of yourself that the divine uses to get through to you. And if there's blocks there, the vision that you're trying to achieve for yourself and your life will be hard to find, because there's no way for the divine to get that through to you. So with the vision, you know, this is about grounding this vision into reality. Venus really wants you to move forward in your life goals, your life purposes, your life vision, especially with that Mercury retrograde in your first house too. This is about your personal goals, your personal life direction, really, and how you relate to that. And again, like I said, the clues will be found in childhood. Now, it's so interesting that the king has come out here, because, you know, Leo is the sign of royalty. It's the sign of kings and queens. And so it's so beautiful this king's come out to represent this. But what this king card actually represents is our ego, okay? And so this is, when this card comes out, it's important to realize that there is a death of an ego here that can happen. And so that's so beautiful with that 12th house. As I said earlier, it's this house of undoing and unmaking, and undoing the structures that you've put in place that aren't serving you moving forward. And this is about undoing ego ties and ego wounds, and having, and the hold that your ego has on you through your subconscious mind, telling you that you can't tap into this playful side of yourself, or you can't move forward on this vision, or whatever it is, you know, the ego that's holding you stuck in that bitterness and resentment of rejections, or whatever it is for you, however this is applying to your own life. That's what's coming to an end through this Venus retrograde, the ego, and it's coming to an end. It's being undone by that beautiful feminine easy energy, the feminine, like the gentle, compassionate, beautiful undoing. It will just fall away naturally if you allow it to do so. And if you tap into this yin energy, there will be an ego death. And then through that, this moving forward, through that, you plant this seed that can grow, this beautiful seed that can grow. And like I said here, this is investing in yourself. You're planting the seeds within yourself. So you may not even really see the full benefits of this Venus retrograde during this period, and it might come out later, within the next 18 months or within the next 8 years, you know, where you actually find that you look back at this time and you say, that was where I shifted from one component of self to another. And I feel like a lot of Virgos are going to transcend. You're going to level up during this time, and that's going to plant this seed that will grow within. It's such a beautiful energy, and all that is required from you really is to sink back and surrender and allow the divine feminine to do the work, and just keep looking for what makes you happy, what brings you joy. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that now, Virgo. I wish you all the best for this Venus retrograde. Happy healing, and I will see you in the next monthly forecasts. Take care. Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. And we've got aquamarine communication. So oh, there was another one here. Hang on. Music, spirit quartz music. So this Venus retrograde is happening in your 11th house. Okay, so this is the house of communication, not communication. This is the house of friendships and community and larger groups that you're involved with, your social circle, but also your associates at work. It's the people that you engage with, right? So the people that you are a vibrational match to, and these people are helping you or hindering you to get to your bigger ambitions, your goals, your wishes, your hopes and dreams for your future. So they're the people, and it's a really good time to take a look at and step back and look at how you're relating to these people. Okay, so they're not really necessarily the people closest to you, but they're the bigger groups of people that you are involved with. Could be the people within your work environment, could be the people in your larger social circle, people involved in clubs or like organizations that you're involved in, right? So this is how you're relating to them. And with the communication card and music card, I mean, this, you know, literally could be communicating with these people. It could be communicating through music or connecting with other people through music, or music being a theme that connects you with larger groups and larger organizations or places or people that can get you towards your dreams, towards the direction that you want to head in, because this is what the Venus retrograde in that house is really looking at. It's looking at the vibrational connection between you and other people, and whether or not that is moving you towards your dreams, your goals, and your hopes for the future. You got flexible. New life. Wow. So flexible, and that's being flexible with the people that you're allowing into your life at this time, flexible with how this is going to unfold in your life, with your own perspective and your own views on how this is going to evolve. I mean, there could be communications that you receive during this retrograde period, and you may at first think, no, that's not for me. And it's about really looking at and being more flexible, because if there is a new life coming in for you, Libra, and remembering that Venus is your ruling planet, rules your first house, so it could be a completely new life coming in, especially with Mercury doing a retrograde in your 12th house at the time. So that's happening on August 24th till September 16th. So at the same time this is happening, okay, so this undoing, this taking away, but also you have all of that 8th house activity with Taurus being activated, and this will be squaring that. So what I'm trying to say is that there is so much transformation and change available to you, Libra. Literally, you could be bringing in a brand new life. And it may be that at first, when it comes to you, or these people come to you, that you may be a bit rigid and a bit like, I'm not sure about this, but these cards are telling you to be flexible. So we've got salvation, illusion, and beauty. I love that one. So you're the sign of beauty, right? Venus is the planet of beauty. So that is how you can tap into this. This is tapping into your beauty, and that doesn't mean necessarily your physical beauty. It can be aesthetically beautiful, and it can be through music, beautiful music. I am hearing that. So your salvation and your way to get through any hard times or disharmonious experiences through this will be listening to music that makes you feel beautiful, or that feels beautiful to you. Like, beautiful music is what I'm hearing for you. A great way to reharmonize your vibrational frequency, so is using music as medicine, okay? So looking at beauty and tapping into beauty. There's also illusions. Now I feel like that will come with that Mercury retrograde happening in the 12th house. 12th house is the house of illusions, the house of the imagination and fantasy, so we may be dealing with some illusions there. But the salvation, I really feel like for this new life will be a salvation. It's going to be something that that's going to save you from places that you have been inflexible, that you haven't been able to move forward. This Venus retrograde could be a really pivotal moment in your life, Libra, to move forward. Okay, we have the Knight of Coins, the King of Coins, beautiful, the Four of Coins, the Three of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, lots of information coming through. So first of all, the Knight of Coins being the most inflexible of all the knights. So all the other knights in the tarot card, they're racing forward towards a new life or a new goal or an ambition. You know, they're racing, whereas the Knight of Coins is standing very still. It's a very slow moving energy. So if you're not in this, if you're not willing to be flexible in this situation that's coming through as your salvation, if you're not willing to be flexible with that, it will move very, very slowly. Okay, so I mean, this may move slowly anyway because we have, it is a retrograde, and also we're moving into retrograde season. So things are slowing down anyway, but with that 8th house energy being activated, with Taurus being so activated, your life can literally change like that. And if that's what you want, and if that's what you apply yourself to. So the cards are asking you to try and open up to being more flexible and allowing things to move a little bit quicker, because you have this King of Coins coming in. Now, I do feel for you, Libra, that this King of Coins is somebody else. I don't think it's you. I think this is somebody else coming in, and this is creating this new life. Now, for a lot of you, this will be love. If you're single and you're looking for love, this King of Coins, and I love this King of Coins coming in for you. He is literally going to, or she, it can be, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a male. They're coming in to amplify your life and to help you to shift that Taurus energy, help you to transition, to transform into the next stage. They will literally be your salvation, because they will bring in this new life for you. And the King of Coins is such a stable energy. This person is long term, okay? They are the real deal. They want to commit to you. The King of Coins is that really steady energy. So you just have to be a little bit flexible and allow that person to come into your life. Now, we have this illusion card here with the 4 of Coins, and I think there's this illusion that you need to hold on tight. That can really happen with 8th house energy, when the 8th house is activated the way it has been for so long for you, Libra, especially looking back March, April, May, June, those months, March, April, May, really. That 8th house, there could have been a lot of change, and you may be gripping really tightly to some things and remaining rigid and fixed on something, staying the way it is, but with the idea that if you let go, that it will be painful, it will be a loss of some kind. Okay, 3 of Swords, a loss or pain, but that is an illusion. You're not seeing this new life coming through. This new life, it is trying to cut something out, because you're transforming, you're transcending, you're growing. The 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. Now, this could be a group of people, again, because we come back to that 11th house influence with the friendships and communities. It could be a new community for you. It could be a new group of friends. It could be new associations at work. But there is a need to let go, and the need to open yourself up to the acceptance of it coming in. Okay, especially if you've been asking for this, if you've been calling in this new life and it's not coming to you, Libra, then that is a sign that you have blocked it from going through, because you ask for something and it is always given to you. It always comes through the universe. But if you're not seeing it, it means that you're holding yourself blocked. 4 of Coins. You're holding yourself apart from it, from some sort of belief, some sort of illusion that you need to hold on, or some sort of fear from the pain that it might cause you, and not seeing actually that it is a really exciting time for you. With the Beauty card, I feel like with the 5 of Wands here, there is competitions, there is jealousy. It may be the fact that you are very beautiful, okay, and there can be a lot of, like, you're physically attractive, or you're aesthetically attractive, or you're able to make your environment very beautiful, and people are jealous of you. And so that will come up through this retrograde period for healing. If this is a theme that you've dealt with throughout your life, and I think a lot of Libras do kind of deal with that theme, because they are so beautiful, but they're also so giving and accepting of others, and oftentimes Libras can be people pleasing, and so they're easy to walk all over, and people who are jealous can be very hurtful towards Libras. Okay, and so if there's any wounding around that kind of competition or jealousy around your beauty or your ability to be beautiful or create beauty in your life, that's going to come up again, like I said, for healing, especially with Lilith. Lilith conjunct Lilith conjunct Venus. Okay, that's that time when, as I spoke about in the introduction, where parts of yourself that you've rejected, possibly in childhood or through significant impacts on significant relationships, and you've like broken down parts of yourself and aspects of yourself and pushed them into the subconscious, into to be rejected and not integrated into the whole system. Okay, that can happen if you were too beautiful and someone was jealous of you, or you shone too brightly and someone wanted to knock you down a peg, and that can create this kind of rejected aspect of what I've been talking about with Lilith. Okay, especially with that Mercury in the 12th house, that could come up at the end of August and the beginning of September for you quite strongly. This can come up for healing, and it's about letting go and releasing and bending and allowing this part of yourself to come out, and allowing yourself to be beautiful. The world needs more beauty, Libra. Don't let other people don't let other people stop you from shining. That's awful. And see the 7 of Wands down here, this is about being your authentic self, being in alignment with your true self, and that's going to come through. That comes through with that first house. Venus rules your first house and your 8th house. So things are shifting. What's shifting for you, Libra, is what's not aligned with who you are authentically, okay? Where this is about being empowered and about being empowered to be in alignment with your authenticity. This alignment and grounding that into reality, 7 of Wands. This new life that's coming in is way more aligned with your authentic self, and that's why it's pushing through. It's really pushing you, and you're resisting it. You're really rigid and resisting it, and this new life wants to come through because it's who you really are. And when you allow yourself to express this new way of life and this new way of being, you'll be expressing your soul, your true soul, and you'll be expressing your beauty, and you'll shine. And maybe that's what you're a little bit scared of, but this is the next stage in your life and your evolution, Libra. So the next lot of cards I'm going to get out are cards that will help you to apply your healing through this retrograde period. So we got the Venom, the Seed, and the Kiss. So with the Venom card, there is like the toxicity around you, and this being in the 11th house, it could be toxic people that you're surrounding yourself with. So be really aware of the people and look at and take this time to reflect on and evaluate the people that you're allowing into your sphere, the people you're allowing yourself to be influenced by, okay? Also who you're looking towards, if in your ambitions, in your career, in your goals, who you're looking towards to inspire you. Are they really inspirational, or are they making you feel like shit about yourself, really, Libra? Because that venom is really toxic, and it can sort of seep into our system without our awareness and do a lot of damage if you allow it. This psychic venom is very, very damaging. So if you're really struggling with a lot of disharmony throughout this Venus retrograde, look at how you're harming others and how others are harming you. That's the message of the Venom card. Because like I said, this new life, okay, we've got this seed being planted. The seed, okay, there's a seed being planted and ready to grow. It doesn't mean that you may not, it means that you may not see this actually unfold during this time. It's maybe just that the seeds are being planted, especially with this King of Coins. This person might just be looking at you, just being watching you, and ready for you when you're ready for this new life. But it may not come out at that time because you're having to deal with all this other stuff, because you're changing so rapidly with that 8th house. You know, you're learning your own empowerment, you're learning your own beauty, you're learning to love yourself. This seed is ready to grow. And with the Kiss card, this Kiss card represents true intimacy, and Venus is going to be all about intimacy for everybody. It's about that deep, deep connection that you have with another person, or with yourself, or with the environment, or with a passion or a hobby or something. So there is the possibility of a really deep, intimate connection that comes through here. And it's really about opening yourself up to being vulnerable, opening yourself up to allowing others to see the beauty within, see you as beautiful, and that sparking this new life coming through. So the way that this Venus retrograde unfolds for you, Libra, is just a matter of how willing you are to be vulnerable and how willing you are to be flexible in the manifestations of what's coming through, because somebody or something is wanting to connect with you deeply. And it's time to reflect on your ability to let that happen. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that now, Libra. Thank you for letting me be a part of this creative journey. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. If this was something that resonated with you, please do like, share, subscribe. That really helps me. And I really look forward to seeing you again in the August forecasts. And yeah, happy healing. Take care. Hello Scorpio, welcome to your Venus Retrograde Tarot card reading. Let's begin with this card, the Tanzanite Clarity card. Okay, so there is clarity coming through with this retrograde. It's about gaining clarity for you, and particularly in your life purpose, in your life direction, your life goals. The Venus Retrograde is happening in your 10th house. Okay, so this is the house of your career. It's the house of your major life goals. It's the house where you create your empire. You create the realm around you which you rule, the world around you which you rule. And Leo being the sign of the royalty of kings and queens, it's really about being totally in ownership and rulership of your own empire. That's what this Venus retrograde will be about. And anywhere where that's not making sense to you, anywhere where there is a lack of commitment or a lack of this developing into success and into fulfillment and achievement, there's going to be clarity that comes out, clarity coming through the confusion. So the Venus retrograde during that period, especially the first half, it may be very confusing, but that's for the purpose of you coming to this clarity. Clean it up. Poised. So this is what I'm saying is there's a cleaning up. So this is the Venus, any retrograde really is about evaluating, reflecting, cleaning up, doing that cleaning work and realigning, reestablishing, redoing things that you can, and creating a better way of, a more successful and a more harmonious way of approaching things. So if there's any mess that you need to deal with, if there's any parts of your life that is getting out of control or getting cluttered with the clarity card here. So if there's any clutter, it's time to clean it up. And that's going to take work. It's going to take this time to stop, step back and have a look at your life, looking at the broader picture, looking at the big picture and what your major life goals are for yourself, how you approach this feeling of success and achievement, and cleaning up any mess that is blocking you from getting there, so that you can be poised, so that you can be ready to make this move with your career and make this move with your major life goals. Or it can be a relationship. The 10th house is about commitments and deep commitments and your empire. So anywhere, so a marriage partnership or a relationship can fit into that as well. So this is about getting yourself ready for the next stage, getting yourself ready for the next 8 years of the Venetian cycle, and preparing for what's coming in for you. You got the in-between. Communion. Communication. So we are in this in-between phase, like I've said, where you're cleaning up and you're preparing. This is a preparation time. The Venus retrograde is giving you this ability, this opportunity to pull back and to stop and reflect and reevaluate your approach, your stance. There's also this communion with the higher self, with the higher spirit, with the inner being. So there's a lot of information coming through. That's part of that divine feminine energy. Okay, so Venus being the planet of the divine, that's how she communicates her messages to you, is through that communion, through that easy translation of vibration and of essence into a way that you can understand it. Okay, so that's how how to approach this situation, because she's, like I said, there's communion and there's a communication. So you may feel that you're getting a lot of downloads, you're receiving a lot. It may be coming through other people. If there are other people involved in this, it could be your marriage partner, your or your business partner. It could be someone that you're involved in a one-on-one capacity, because Venus rules your 7th house. It rules Taurus, your 7th house, and there's a lot of activity happening in Taurus anyway. You've been dealing with a lot of Taurus activity for a while, March, April, May particularly, but for years now this has been going on. And so there could be that person that's on the other side of the scale from you, whether that's your marriage partner or your business partner. There could be a lot of communication that comes through here during this Venus retrograde time, and there could be a lot of reflection, a lot to clean up, but not expecting anything to really progress, maybe like in physical terms now, because you're in this in-between period. This is about preparing yourself for the next step. And about gaining clarity so you know what the next step is to take. We've got the 4 of Coins, the 6 of Coins, the 9 of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. So there's a lot of pages, well, there's 2 pages here, and so these are the messengers of the tarot card. So there is messages coming to you. There's messages coming through your communion with your higher self, with your inner being and the divine. There's also messages coming. There's actually people coming in to communicate messages for you. I feel like this will be communicating very powerful, passionate messages. Like I said at the beginning of the in the introduction, I said about people giving bold and dramatic displays of affection and love. This could be somebody who coming out of the wings and boldly displaying their affection for you or their love for you, and taking that, oh sorry, did I say Page of Wands? I meant Page of Swords, sorry. So this is that communication. This is the card of communication. So it's fresh communication, and they're coming out of the wings and expressing this communication with you, maybe expressing their love to you, expressing how they feel for you. And that is coming through. It may be new, it may not be something you're expecting, or if that's coming from another person. So if there is somebody approaching you during this time in terms of a love sort of commitment way, if you're single, they may be coming from someone you work with, somebody you within your career environment, someone within your network. Also, the Venus rules your 12th house, so this could be something secretive, something that you want to keep a secret, or somebody who wants to keep it a secret for you as well. You know, with the moon there as well, they may not be ready for it to be revealed, and you may not have all the information. In fact, with the moon here, this communication may be bringing you the information that you need. So someone can bring you this information, and it'll be new information, and then it's something to really ponder upon and mull over it, so that you have the clarity to make decisions moving forward, so that you're ready to move forward, poised. Okay, with the communion card here, the 9 of Swords, there is a fear with the 9 of Swords coming up, and that's what you're being asked to clean up, cleaning up any fear that you have. Now, this can be fear, and it's going to be different for everybody. But like I said, with that Taurus square that's happening for you, that could be fears around your commitments with your partner, your marriage partner, or your business partner. It can be fears around your, so with the Lilith will be conjunct, so the first week of August and second week of August, there's Venus retrograde conjunct Lilith in the 10th house. So this could be fears of rejection within your career, within your work life, within your professional life. It could be fears of being shamed, or fears of putting yourself out there. So these are the things that need to be cleaned up, because these fears, then they're what are blocking you. There's what holding you back from being ready to take the next step. Okay, and with the Page of Cups here, there could be a communion, there could be conversations around love, around the heart. If this is a love situation that you're dealing with, someone could come and express their love for you, like I've already said. And there may be fears around that. There may be fears that you're not good enough, or fears that it will interrupt your career or your work life, because you do have that square with Taurus, and so the 7th house squaring the 10th house. It could be that there's a difficulty merging together what you're doing in your professional life and the person that you're in a relationship with. The person that you're in a relationship with could be putting up obstacles for you to move forward in your career, or vice versa. So that's something that needs to be cleaned up, but it's your own fears that are blocking you with the Nine of Swords here. And this Four of Coins, okay, so this Four of Coins is keeping you stuck in this in-between stage. It's like you're not really moving forward because you're keeping yourself trapped, and that's what needs to be cleaned up. You need to clean up what's holding you in this in-between stage. And like I said, it's this fear. It's this fear of the unknown with the moon here. Four of Coins, you're keeping yourself apart, you're keeping yourself separated out of fear of the unknown. And then as you clean that up, you'll gain clarity and you'll be able to move forward, because the Six of Coins here is something being offered. So there is something ready, there's something when you're ready that you can receive from this situation, Six of Coins. But you're in the in-between stage, so you're in that stage of preparing to receive this blessing that Venus will bring in for you. I think that you will see this happen particularly from the 16th of August when we have the Leo new moon. But you know, as Venus moves direct in September 4 and then into October, you will start to see this coming in. Now, also just another side note about the Six of Coins and Venus is being the planet of the divine feminine. She is the planet of receptivity, okay, the planet of receiving, not pushing, not trying, but sitting back and surrendering and to the receiving. So with the Six of Coins here, that's really telling you that that's what you need to do. You need to sit back and receive the clarity, receive the wisdom, receive these communications, and work through this. With this Venus retrograde, you don't need to act. That's the really awesome thing about it. So it's not about taking action. It's just about gathering all the intel, letting it all come to you, and then pondering it, evaluating it, and then deciding, so that when things move forward, you're ready to move forward to Scorpio. Okay, so the next lot of cards I'm going to get out for you are the cards that will help you to see where you can do the healing during this retrograde. So we've got the Desert, the Warrior, oh, that one, the Lover, I really do feel like someone is coming forward to display their love and affection for you, particularly maybe someone coming out from behind the scenes that you weren't expecting, or someone who's had a secret crush on you. They're ready to reveal their true intentions or their true love for you because they're being influenced by this Venus in Leo energy as well. And so if that happens, again, like I said, there's no need to act upon it. Even if they are giving you massive displays of affection, you don't need to act upon it yet. You can sit back and you can think about it, unless you're really keen. But if this happens, it is about this very deep commitment with the 10th house and the 7th house so involved here. This is about lifelong, deep marriage type vibe commitment, okay? So if someone is coming to you with expressions of love, they are serious. They're serious for the long term. And so this is about evaluating whether you're serious as well. Now with the Warrior card here, okay, so Venus rules your 12th house. It rules Libra, so that's your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of secret enemies or hidden enemies, okay? So if you're dealing with some unpleasant vibes that could be coming from somebody who is secretly despises you or secretly trying to undo your good work because they don't like you. So there could be a battle here. If that's what's happening for you, there could be a battle, and you could receive that information. Somebody may come to you and tell you this person's doing this, and you become more clear, like, oh, this is why all these things keep going wrong, and this is why this X, Y, and Z has happened, and you'll have that clarity, and it's because someone's working against you without your awareness. I mean, that's not going to be for everybody, but just being aware that that Warrior card there is saying that there could be a fight. You could have a fight on your hands, and that's what you're cleaning up, and you're eliminating that energy from your life during this retrograde period so that you can move on and you can be more open and more vulnerable with people and with life. And with the Desert card, I really feel like this in-between stage where you're preparing yourself that we've been talking about through this whole reading, it may feel like a desert. It may feel like there's not enough love, or there's not enough peace, or enough flow, or enough harmony. There's not enough to flourish and blossom and bloom like a beautiful garden. It feels dry and it feels like nothing's growing. It may feel like that, but remembering that's because you've got the Four of Coins here. You're blocking yourself off from seeing that things can grow. It's literally you're holding yourself back from receiving. There's a block there, okay? There's a block that's making it feel like the desert for you. And so it's about tapping into your receptivity, tapping into that feminine flow and ease and surrender and allowing. Okay, that's the lesson for you, Scorpio, so that you allow things to flow into your life. Because in the desert, there is treasure to be found. There is truth to be found. And so through this truth, this is where you then develop into this next storyline and next chapter of your life. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that, Scorpio. I hope there was something in here for you. I hope that this is helpful in your healing and creative process through this Venus retrograde. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all the rest of that. And I really look forward to seeing you again in the August forecast. Take care. Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. So we begin with the card of acceptance. Beautiful. So this card is, retrograde is happening in your 9th house, and the 9th house represents lots of things, but it does represent your perspective. So the mindset and the lens that you view life through, okay? So this is about, when two different people view the same situation, they can come to very different meanings based on the filter or the lens that they're viewing the situation through, which comes from your foundational beliefs and from your experiences. And so this is about, with the Venus retrograde here, is about uplifting your beliefs, uplifting your mindset, uplifting your perspective to a more wise and a more balanced and a more supportive and harmonious perspective through acceptance, through engaging and tapping into the energy of acceptance. Now, acceptance doesn't mean that you have to let go of and let people do things to you that don't feel good to you, or don't or allow yourself to be treated in ways that are not in alignment with your authentic self. In fact, it's the very opposite. The 9th house is the house of your alignment and your authentic self, okay? And so this is really about when you view other people with in your life, with the way you're relating to other people, if they're relating to you in a way that isn't the way that you want to be related to, it's not about accepting that. It's about accepting that that's who they are, and walking away with love. It's about having compassion for that person, but also having the strength to have that firm boundary of, I accept that's who you are and you're probably not going to change, and I want better for myself, and so I'm moving away. And I'm hearing that's really important for you to hear, Sagittarius. So let's get some more cards. So we got exchanging gifts and happy. Lovely. So I feel like that actually your connections with other people will be very positive for you throughout this Venus retrograde, and how that can happen is through that perspective, that perspective of acceptance and those supporting beliefs. So if there is uncomfortable situations come up for you, that is an indicator that there are limiting beliefs in play. There are active limiting beliefs here. And the retrograde is encouraging you to find more supportive, more happy ways of exchanging, okay? So exchanging gifts is that exchange that we do whenever we're relating to other people. Every time you come into someone's sphere or connect with someone, you're exchanging energy, okay? Even at the very least, you're exchanging, it's an energetic exchange. And this is about exchanging gifts. And so accepting people's gifts can be part of this, you know, actually accepting what other people have to give you and allowing people to come in and help you, allowing yourself to be open to receive. So Venus is the planet of the divine feminine, and divine feminine energy is the energy of receiving. And a lot of people, as we work through this Venus retrograde, a lot of people that are closed off to their receptivity and closed off to receiving will really struggle. So something for you to look at is your ability to be in that receptive mode, your ability to be in the receptivity, especially when it involves other people offering you help, offering you love. Like I said in the introduction, there'll be grand displays of love throughout this retrograde period and beyond. And so how do you receive that? How do you allow that other people to show you affection and show you love? And how do you accept as well to just be happy and to allow your own happiness coming through as well? Communication. This card keeps coming out. Home. And wise leadership. Okay, this communication card keeps coming out in every reading, and I feel like that's because that Mercury is also going to be in retrograde. Now that's going to happen at the end of August. So Mercury moves retrograde in Virgo on August the 24th until September 16th. So that's happening simultaneously. And so that will bring in this communication to this loving storyline. So there's a need to look at our communication, and everyone's being told that. So all the zodiac signs are being told that this how do we exchange and how do we communicate with each other. Now, remembering that in communication, there's two sides of that. So there's speaking and expressing yourself, Leo, but there's also listening and accepting other people's communication in. So stopping and being silent and listening, like really hearing other people. So that's that exchange that's happening, okay? With the home energy, this is about bringing everything back to your home. Now, the 9th house is the house of foreign places, of travel, of people with different perspectives and faraway concepts and faraway places to you. So, but this is about bringing back to home. So raising your perspective, raising your vibration at your home, and that can be incorporating new perspectives, listening to other people and incorporating their perspectives into your own perspective and coming to a brand new way of viewing life. Wise leadership, that I'm not surprised that's come through for you. The 9th house, which by the way, Sagittarius, is your natural house. So this is a house you really flourish in. It is ruled by Jupiter. It's ruled by Sagittarius. So that's why this is such a beautiful reading for you, because this is the kind of work you really love to do as a Sagittarius. You really love it. It's going to feel really natural to you, along with the fact that Venus is already a really easy energy to work with, is even more harmonious to you because of that 9th house element. And the wise leadership, the 9th house is about leaderships. It's about teachers. It's about gurus. It's about people in the places that have the wisdom to share with others. So if you have wisdom to share, that's that exchange that's coming through. You have the ability through this retrograde to find a way to share your own wisdom, your own knowledge, and that's a gift that you can give to other people. We have the 3 of Cups. Justice. The Tower. Three of Wands. Nine of Cups. King of Swords. So I love this 3 of Cups here, okay? So this is signifying that beautiful communication and exchange of gifts with other people. This can happen in your social situations, in your social connections, but it's really showing that there's a beautiful flow between you and other people, and that's that acceptance. Okay, there's this beautiful flow, people really loving coming together with you and really wanting to exchange and talk and communicate and share. There's a sharing happening here. It's really beautiful. And the Justice card, you know, the Justice card represents cause and effect. So this is about what you're putting out. You're putting out energy, you're putting out vibration that really inspires other people, but makes them feel really good. It makes them feel really happy, okay? And it makes them feel like their cup is filled. So it's really showing you that you are the kind of person who is a cup filler rather than someone who takes in the energy from others. But it also is a reminder as well to make sure that you're spending your time and spending your energy on other cup fillers. You're not giving and giving and giving to people who are going to take this energy. And so there's that equal beautiful exchange and sharing of energy, and that creates this overflowing cup feeling. I love that for you. If you're not feeling like that, then this Venus retrograde is helping you to work out the blocks that are stopping you and that are blocking this from coming into your life. Because there is this Justice card here, there is the universe wanting to give back to you what you're putting out and accepting. So this is that receiving energy that I was talking about. Accepting and receiving that back will make you very happy. Now, the Tower card is not a card to really worry about in this situation because it's followed by the Three of Wands. But there is the Lilith conjunct Venus retrograde that's happening in the first couple of weeks of August. And so this will be around rejection, okay? So we're looking at themes of rejection, and that's the things that are really hit home, okay? So if there's been an uncomfortable exchange that's really hit your center, that can come up for review, for evaluation, for dealing with, okay? So it's really looking at your beliefs around rejection, at your fundamental belief systems and any limiting beliefs that you're holding around rejection. I don't feel this Tower energy is uncomfortable for you. I actually feel like, especially if this is coming from other people, they're going to this sharing of information, this sharing of overflowing cups will actually create this Tower moment where things crumble and things fall apart that were no longer serving you. That's kind of expected in a retrograde anyway, but it's for the purpose of your expansion, okay? So the ninth house is all about growth and expansion, and with the Three of Wands here, you're really expanding into the next journey of your life. Now, this could be actually like literally a new home, or you traveling or moving overseas or moving really far away. That can happen, and with the Venus retrograde, it's about either connecting with the people where you're moving to or where you've just moved to, or it's about really connecting with the flow and the ease of that move, because moving to very far away can be very can be hard. Like, it's a hard thing to do. And so the Venus retrograde is bringing in anything that helps you to make that more harmonious and easier for yourself, and you will be very happy with the results. I think this is a really massive period of growth for you, Sagittarius, where you can really tap into the next level of life. With the Nine of Cups here, I just feel like the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment, okay? This is literally this cup being offered from the cosmos, and they've got angel wings here. It's coming down. There's a wish being fulfilled. That can be, say, if one of your dreams is to be a teacher or a leader of something, that will happen for you through this retrograde, or the pieces will fall into place as you move through this retrograde. This can be in your work environment. Venus does rule your 6th house, and there's been so much activity there in your 6th house in Taurus. So thinking back particularly from March, April, May, what's been going on for you in your 6th house to do with your work, your lifestyle. It can be where you live as well. And this Venus retrograde is squaring that. Like I said, this is that squaring energy. It's quite uncomfortable, but it's for the purpose of fulfilling your dreams, your wishes. So there's an exchange that needs to happen here, okay? There's an exchange, and possibly maybe you need to exchange an old way of life, an old lifestyle, and replace it with a new one where you are a wise leader, Sagittarius. So this is nothing to fear. This is a wish being fulfilled. And with the King of Swords, this could be somebody coming into your life if you're single, it could be a relationship or somebody coming into your life who is a wise leader, somebody you can follow. Maybe you've been looking for a guru or a spiritual leader or a teacher of some description. That person can come into your life during this retrograde and they can help to teach you what you need to learn to go to that next level. So that's a very likely outcome for Sagittarius, to find that person, that King of Swords. King of Swords, kings are always leaders. He's a leader on the intellectual level. He's very smart. He's great at communicating. He's ready to communicate with you. Doesn't have to be a man just because I'm saying him because it's a king, but it could be a woman. It's gender neutral. Alternatively, this is someone that you're able to come into partnership, whether that's through business or at work, or it could be a relationship. And you can move towards a more leadership position through this person in some capacity, and it will make you very happy. Okay, Sagittarius, so the next lot of cards I'm going to get are the cards that show you what healing can be done throughout this retrograde. So we got the Vision, Eros, and the King. Yes. Okay, so the Vision card, of course, that's that vision. Now the ninth house is the house of your vision. It's the house of your perspective, your lens, but also the way you see the world and the way you want to expand and grow, how you're growing. So your vision will be really important here. And I think this is going to be so easy for you, Sagittarius. I don't see any hardship here. I think that you will just start to engage, and people will come together with you and really see what you have to offer and be ready to work with you to help you to move towards your vision. The Eros card is the card of desire, and it does indicate a new love coming in. So if you're single, there could be a new love coming in, this King of Swords, which is a wish fulfillment, okay? It's something that you will really, really desire. Now, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a hobby. It can be a place where you live, where you move to. It could be a creative outlet, like that Leo energy I was talking about in the introduction, finding a way to channel your creativity, something that really sparks a deep-rooted yearning and desire within you and awakens that love force energy within you. So connecting and tapping into that is going to be the way forward through this retrograde period, and I think it will be really transformative with the Tower here. If you can connect into that energy, that really true heart's desire, and that can be connected to this vision, or it could be something separate, but moving into that desire, into that yearning, and deeply embedding yourself and embracing yourself in your heart, in your heart center, is the way forward for you, Sagittarius. And that leads us to the King. Now, that's so interesting. This King has come up with the King of Swords, but also the fact that Leo is the sign of royalty. It's the sign of kings and queens, and so that is bringing up this royalty, this wise leadership energy. So it's either you or somebody else, or both of you, that are in a position of power and leadership, and being the ruler of your domain, being the ruler of your empire, and really taking that stance, taking that ownership of your life and that ownership of your desires and your dreams and your vision, and not waiting for somebody else to hand it to you, not waiting for things to fall into place, but actually demanding the respect and the wisdom, and taking that leadership in your life to create what you're trying to create. Now, the King card also represents the ego, so there could be some ego ties to come that need to be adjusted and they need to be reflected upon. So the King can represent an ego death, and Leo, Leo is the sign of the ego, and so that wouldn't surprise me, Sagittarius, if there's a little bit of work you need to do there with balancing your ego and your authentic self, and particularly diving into that inner child work to do that ego, and possibly that's what this Tower card's representing, is actually an ego death for the purpose of expanding into this wise leader that you are becoming. So I'm going to leave you with that, Sagittarius. I hope that you found something in this that will help you through this retrograde period. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below, and please do like and share this video. And thank you for being a part of this journey with me and allowing me to be a part of your creative journey too. I look forward to seeing you again in the next forecast in August. Take care. Hello Capricorn, welcome to your Venus Retrograde Tarot card reading. Okay, the first card we got was Empowerment. Awesome. So the Venus retrograde is happening in your 8th house, which is the house of empowerment, the house of power and control. So this means that as the Venus is moving through that 8th house and as Venus is retrograding there, the emphasis for this transit will be on your empowerment, your own personal power. So what that really means, and as you work through this, things will come up for you that have been blocking your power. So if you've been in an intimate relationship with somebody and there's been power and control issues, that's something you can be working on now. If there is an imbalance in your power or your control within your relationships, but what it really means is learning how to trust yourself. So the 8th house is also about trust, and it's about being vulnerable. It's about intimacy. It's about merging with another person in a truly deeply intimate way where you can be open to being vulnerable. Now, to do that, to be able to be vulnerable with another person, you need to feel powerful, and that power has to come from within. What this means is taking your attention away from other people and validating yourself. That's where we get our power from. When we don't need other people's validation, when we don't need other people to make us feel good. So other people come into our lives and they come in an interdependent way. Instead of us being codependent on them, being a certain way, acting a certain way, saying certain things, treating us in a certain way, that is so disempowering. Yes, it's disempowering to need somebody to do something in order for us to feel good. And so this is where the work is for you, Capricorn, is learning how to trust yourself to meet your own needs, your own emotional needs, your own physical needs, and trusting that in that meeting your own needs, you become empowered, and therefore other people naturally move into your experience and treat you in a certain way when you don't need them to. Why? To the sea. So it's interesting, and we'll get some further clarification on these two cards, but there could be a lot of questions coming up for you, and it may be about past relationships. It could be about the way you've been treated in the past, and it could be about why someone treated you that way and why you allowed somebody to treat you that way, and that may lead to this empowerment pathway that you're moving on to. And you may feel like this is a moving on to the sea, literally moving and transitioning and being reborn into someone who comes from a place of more empowerment, especially if you really struggle with this empowerment storyline. And if you really struggle with feeling your own personal power and standing in your own personal power, there could be a complete rebirth here for you. The future. Inexperience. Ambition. Now we are looking towards the future. We're looking towards the way things can change and the way things can transform because of that 8th house energy, okay? So there's a transformation happening and the new beginning starting for you. And this is one that you're not experienced in. It's one that is new, it's fresh. And that maybe, if it is this empowerment storyline that you're starting to engage in, it's about learning, and it's about remembering that you may not always get it right, and it's just even when you fall, pick yourself up and keep going. So you may continue to engage in old behaviors, but that's not a reason to beat on yourself. Beating on yourself or negative self-talk or negative ways of viewing yourself will only keep you trapped in that disempowerment. That's not standing in your power. Standing in your power is knowing and that you can be vulnerable and you can trip and fall and do the wrong things, and that's okay because you always have your own back. With this ambition card, Venus does rule your 10th house, okay? So Venus rules Taurus and Libra, and Libra represents your 10th house. So this could be not only about your intimate partnerships and your marriage partnerships and your person, but it can also come out in terms of your career and your work life and your professional life. So you may find as well this empowerment can shift over into all experiences in your life and translate into more empowerment within your career and your professional life as well. And we have the Emperor, the Chariot, the Sun, 5 of Cups, Three of Swords, and Ace of Cups. So straight away, there could be another relationship coming in. We have the Ace of Cups here, okay? So if somebody is coming in, if you're single and you're looking to meet somebody, you definitely can have that opportunity with Venus in the 8th house. Venus also rules your 5th house, ruling Taurus. There's been a lot of activity in that 5th house, and that 5th house is about romance. The 5th house is actually ruled by Leo, but your 5th house is ruled by Taurus. So the 5th house has that Leo quality to it of romance and heartfelt emotions and love and all of that. So if you meet somebody at a party or you meet somebody in your work environment with the ambition card here, definitely go for it. This person, when you meet somebody with a Venus retrograde in the 8th house, it's a very deep, deep relationship. It's somebody who can meet you on a very deep level in your life and could transform you in ways that you can't even imagine at this point. So if there is a relationship there for you, I feel like there will be a positive thing. Even if it doesn't last, it's still going to be very transformative for you. There is ties to cut here with the 3 of Swords. I'm hearing cut ties. Now, this may be, like I said, in a work situation. And it may be that there's too much confusion with this Y card here. There's just too much. There's not enough clarity. And that clarity, that lack of clarity is creating this disempowerment for you. So just cutting ties and moving on in a new direction, Ace of Cups, following your heart. If it's not a relationship, it's about moving to the sea, moving and transitioning in a way that makes your heart sing. So really remembering that Venus in Leo is all about following our heart's desires, and you have an ambition here to follow a dream. And if that resonates with you, there is something you need to cut out, and it's something that's creating confusion. The inexperienced card here with the Sun, there's a positive new beginning and there's a positive level of clarity, and that's going to bring you this empowerment as well. When you do get this clarity and when you do cut ties with the things that are making you feel confusion, and making you feel confusion, I'm hearing, is about yourself. It's like clouding your own judgment about yourself. And what this is about is stepping into your own power. We've got Emperor and the Sun together here. That is a very, very powerful energy combination about stepping into your own power, the power of your soul expression. The sun represents your life force energy, your soul expression. It may be something that you are not experienced in, but if you're not experienced, that's okay. You can ask the questions, you can find the answers, and you can learn. The Five of Cups, there may be something that needs to be left behind. This is kind of similar storyline as over here. To the sea, something needs to go. Something needs to be transmutated, needs to be transformed. That 8th house energy, like I said, is the house of death and rebirth. So there is death coming out in this card. Not an actual death, but the ending of a situation in your life coming out. And it may be something sad, it may be something that you're grieving, and if it's already happened, this grief and this feeling of heavy loss, this is being covered by the sun. So it means there'll be a bright new day. Remembering, in the darkest of nights, the sun will come out in the morning, looking towards dawn. And this new day, you may not have this experience, you may not know where to go, but knowing and trusting in your own power, because we have the Emperor here, and the Emperor being the most powerful of all of the tarot, because he rules his own empire, right? So in the future, this is where you're heading, Capricorn. You're heading towards this sense of empowerment, towards the Emperor type energy. Now, this could be somebody coming into your life. If this is a relationship, it will be an Emperor coming in the future. And this Emperor will be very powerful, and that is why you need to be powerful as well, so that you can match this person. They're not the kind of person that will handle codependency well. They need you to be on their level so that you can be interdependent with them. And it's the same vice versa. If this isn't a person, then it's about you being in that position of power within your own life, not having power in other people, but having power within your own realm, controlling your own thoughts, controlling your own reality, and taking ownership is what I'm hearing for you. Ownership of your life and being your own emperor, so that if you are attracting people into your life, they're matching that for you. And there's this forward momentum. I love this Chariot card with To the Sea and the future, that you're racing towards the future. Your chariot is waiting for you to take you towards this new experience, this new life. So if something is ending for you, Capricorn, trust that it's moving you forward. The cards are very clear. It's moving you forward towards some very bright future that will fill your cup. Okay, so the next lot of cards I'm getting is about the healing that you can do with the Venus Retrograde there in your 8th house. The Medallion, the Animal, and the Tear. Let's start with the Medallion, because it was literally leaping out of the cards, out of the deck. So the Medallion actually refers to actual objects, physical objects in your life that you hold and have meaning to you. So for some of you, this may resonate. There may be an object that is connected with a person that has caused you a lot of pain. And if so, why are you holding on to that object? That is the question. Why? Why are you holding on to that object? There's memories, and there's energy in that object, is what it's trying to tell you. There's energy there, and it may be a time now of releasing, and even you could throw it to the sea. If there's an object that's okay to do that with, that's environmentally okay, to throw it into the ocean. And you know what's really, I'm getting an image of you actually standing on a beach and throwing rocks into the ocean. I feel like that would be really healing. If you live near a beach, you can go to the beach and pick up rocks and hold them in your hand and put all of your worries and all of your concerns and all of the energy that you're trying to release into, flow it through into your hand, into the rocks, and then throw them into the ocean. It's a really beautiful way to cleanse and heal you and heal your vibration. So this is something you can do, or any variation of your own version of that, using objects as a way to store and release energy. Now that you can also, maybe you get a sunstone. This is the sunstone card here, and carry a sunstone with you, because you also got the sun card. Carrying that with you as a reminder of your empowerment and of this new journey that you're going on. And the Animal card represents that the animal within each of us. It represents the instinctual part of us, and it represents that part of us that is comfortable within our own skin, the part of us that is not thinking and worrying about what other people think of us, or worrying about other people's opinions or other people's input at all. And that's that place of empowerment that I'm talking about, that personal power where you're not worrying about anybody else and you're completely comfortable within your own skin, and accept and express and celebrate your physical body and your own energy. And that's what I'm talking about here with the sun as well. And the empowerment card is completely expressing yourself, Venus in Leo energy, self-expression, and doing it in a way of with pride. With pride's not the right word, but with complete confidence in yourself and complete belief in yourself, and embodying and embracing your natural instincts, your natural abilities, and your natural love for yourself, and putting that out into the world unapologetically, Capricorn, unapologetically. And finally, we have the tear, which of course signifies grief and loss and mourning for whatever is being removed, for this cutting ties or this thing that's being cut out of your life. There is a time period, and especially during the retrograde period, when things are slow and things are more introverted and you have that time to sit with yourself. It's a beautiful time to mourn anything, any endings that you've gone through, any relationships that have ended, or any career paths that are ended, to actually let yourself feel that, and feel that sadness, feel that grief, feel that 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords energy, and release it through tears. So there's multiple ways you can release it, and through these medallions or through your tears, but allowing yourself to feel that energy, allowing yourself to feel sad, and it being okay to feel that way. And that's another way of empowering yourself, is making it okay to feel these uglier emotions, so that it doesn't matter what other people think, if they think you should or shouldn't be feeling that way. If you feel it, it is your truth. And as you feel through it, that's that instinctual part of yourself, the animals. And you know what else? Another thing that I'm just hearing it for you right now is when animals are really scared, or they're nervous, or they're feeling strong emotions, they shake. So another thing you can do, and that's kind of why sometimes when we're crying, we shake as well. It's a way of releasing energy. So shaking could be really good for you during this retrograde period too, Capricorn, if you have really strong emotions that come up to be released. Because remember, as you shift these emotions out, particularly if you're feeling this about in a sense of rejection, okay, with that Lilith component there, with Venus conjunct Lilith happening around the first 2 weeks of August, there could be this, it could have been that you've been rejected and someone's cutting ties with you. And this is your indication to allow yourself that space and that time to mourn that, because if you don't, it becomes trapped and it will continue to carry on with you, and it will continue to add to your disempowerment. So it's actually really empowering to cry and shake and scream and throw things into the ocean and shift that energy out of your system. It allows you to step into your light. It allows you to move forward into the future and to be the person and the authentic person you're supposed to be. And I'm going to leave you with that now, Capricorn. I hope this resonated with you. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and thank you for letting me be a part of your creative journey. And I look forward to seeing you in the August forecasts. Take care. There, Aquarius, welcome to your tarot card reading for the Venus Retrograde. So the first card we got is Learning. This is the same card that Aries got as well. I think that there'll be a lot of learning happening about our significant partnerships, about the people in our lives that we're relating to, particularly on that one-on-one basis, particularly for you, Aquarius, because this retrograde is happening in Leo, which represents your 7th house. So there's a lot of learning about the person on the other side of the scale from you, so that being your past, present, or future partner. But also learning about yourself. As always, relationships are a reflection of ourselves. And so we're learning, and you will be particularly learning about who you are through the mirror of other people. Now this retrograde will be activating your 4th house as well, being Taurus, or that Taurus energy. You'll be squaring that energy, but also your 1st house, because you'll have a full moon on August the 2nd in Aquarius in your 1st house. So all those houses are angular houses, and they are significant houses in your chart. They're when significant things, when these houses are lit up, there is a time when significant things happen in your life. There are time when you have major life events. So I think this Venus retrograde will be significant for you, more so than any other zodiac apart from Leo. So there is a lot of learning on every aspect of your life and of who you are coming through during this time. So we've got no place like home. An unfinished symphony. Okay, so the no place like home, as I said before, this Taurus storyline that's happening in your 4th house will be activated through a square energy with this Venus retrograde. So that means there'll be a lot of tension coming up, tension between the 7th house and the 4th house for you. So that your home will be it will be very important for you there'll be obstacles and challenges there for you, possibly coming through your partnership, your marriage partnership within your home, or people that you're relating to within your home. It'll be very important for you to try and maintain harmony within your home environment. There's also this unfinished symphony card, which means that if you watch the introduction, I talked about spiraling over things or similar themes that came from 8 years ago. And so if there was anything left unhealed from 8 years ago, that's coming up for healing now, Aquarius. And so you have this opportunity to approach it from a new direction, a new vantage point, because of you've had so much activity in your 4th house as well. There is a lot of new information there for you to apply now to these storylines. So think back over 8 years ago and what was coming up for you in 2015 will be significant for you, Aquarius. We have Fortune, Flow, and Rebirth. So flow, definitely, Venus is all about flow. So she's wanting to flow more peace and more harmony and more ease into your life. She's wanting to create more flow in your situation. So this can be applied to your partners, whether that's past, present, or future. And it can also be applied to yourself, flow within yourself. Now, the Venus retrograde will be conjunct Lilith. So that's happening on the 1st week and the 2nd week of August. So that first half of August will be significant for this retrograde and for the squaring as well of Taurus. And this is bringing up a lot of time, or is bringing up any wounding that you are holding towards being rejected from your significant partners, or rejected from people that you have been in an agreement with, in a contract with, whether that's a verbal, written, or soulmate agreement contracts. There anywhere that you have been rejected or shamed within that context of that partnership will come up for healing now. And with this rebirth card, we've got this at the end of the Venus retrograde. So on August the 22nd, we start Virgo season. And then on August the 24th, Mercury will move retrograde in Virgo as well. So we have an overlapping period where we have the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde happening at the same time. Now that Mercury retrograde is happening in your 8th house. That is the house of death and rebirth. So there could be things coming to an end, and it's for the purpose of you being reborn and coming new again, and entering a whole new level of your life and of your soul's expansion. And so this is about learning. This is about learning about how to be in this next level that's coming through. And it really is a fortune. There's fortune coming through. So this is telling you that no matter how hard or tricky things seem or appear, they're for your best interest. The universe has your back. Fool, Five of Cups. The Five of Cups keeps coming out as well. Nine of Cups. King of Coins. The Empress, beautiful. And Death card. I love this line here, this Fool with the Nine of Cups with the Empress. This is literally a brand new journey with a wish being fulfilled. So as I said, there's a death and a rebirth. Death card happening here and the Fool happening here. So the death, there's a death here of an old way of being, of an old way of relating to a partner. Now, for some of you, this may actually be the physical ending of a relationship. If that happens for you, and it could be very sad. You've got the Five of Cups, of course. You know, whenever a relationship ends, it's very tumultuous, and you know, there's going to be a process to go through, a grieving process to go through. But this is part of coming to this new journey, coming to fulfilling the wholeness of who you really are, and moving forward on a new journey and being more fortunate and having more ease and flow in your life. So trusting that any endings are creating more harmony for you in whatever way that comes out. But there could also be that there is this ending of unfinished business. Okay, so there could be a lot of clarity coming through and a lot of closure for you from past relationships. I'm seeing that for you, Aquarius, that you may, like, old lovers or old partners may come back into your life, because retrogrades do bring people back into our lives, and to give you closure, and so that you can move forward, and that closure will bring you, will give you that rebirth that you need, so that you can move into another relationship with another person, with being whole and being complete and finishing what needed to be finished. And so with the Empress here, you know, this is this flow of creativity. This is you being in your highest power. The Empress card is the card that is ruled by Venus. And so this is just showing you just how significant Venus is in this sign. Venus is going to have this really powerful energy and really powerful impact on you, Aquarius. And it's for the purpose of creating more harmony, like I keep saying. It's for the purpose of fulfilling a desire, filling a dream, something you've asked for. You've asked for this, even if you haven't asked for this on a conscious level. Maybe you've asked to learn something new, or you've asked to understand something. You've asked for this closure. In some way, this is fulfilling a desire that you've had for yourself, and it's about creating more stability for yourself and more ease and more flow. So this is creating flow within your home environment, or it can be creating more flow and more stability. The King of Coins can be another person. If this is that person coming back into your life that I talked about, that had unfinished business with you, they can come in, or it can be this new partnership coming in, if that resonates with you, with your life as well, a new person coming in. If they do come in, I really love them coming through as that King of Coins. They're really steady energy. They want something long term. The seventh house is the house of marriage and long term partnerships. So this is really somebody who wants to see this through to the end with you. And if you're in a satisfying and happy relationship, then knowing that this is cleaning up, you're just cleaning up any unfinished, unspoken tangles within that relationship, so that you can move forward together with more ease and more flow and more abundance and creativity, and end anything that is causing either of you any grief. With the Five of Cups here, there could be grief and loss and sadness that needs closure. It needs that time to be observed and to be sat with, and that's a really beautiful way to use Venus retrograde energy, is to sit with your emotions and sit with that, and with any of that grief or sadness, because Venus retrograde can be very healing. That Empress divine feminine healing can be applied here to anything that's still going on. And it could be about that rejection. Someone may be rejecting you, or that Lilith aspect there as well, because like I said, there's this new journey, and it can be a new home, or it could be a new journey within your home, or it's a new journey that makes you feel whole and wholesome, and that's what you're learning and moving towards, Aquarius. Okay, now the next lot of cards I'm pulling for you is what healing is available. Healing is available to Aquarius through this Venus retrograde, and you have the box, agape, this one, Alethea. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Alethea, I think. And so the box represents breaking out of comfort zones. So breaking out of ways that we are keeping ourselves small, keeping ourselves trapped. And this is this rebirth, this ending energy. Okay, there's this ending and new beginning. So you're breaking through what's normal. You're breaking through places where you have been uncomfortably comfortable, if that makes sense to you. So this, like, where we sort of lay back and allow our lives to stay stagnant because it's easier than moving forward. And Venus retrograde, really, Venus wants you to move through life with ease and flow and harmony, but she may be pushing you through some pretty uncomfortable situations if she's trying to take you outside of your box. Okay, so that's something to look for, and to understand that this moving, if you're being moved out of your comfort zone, is because that comfort zone is no longer serving you. There's a agape card here. It's literally talking about that feeling of awe and wonder. So this feeling of flow and fortune, and this rebirthing into something brand new, where so within this box, within this comfort zone, you couldn't imagine what's about to come through after this Venus retrograde, and particularly probably around October, when Venus starts to move out of Leo and into Virgo. You'll start to see this come through, and it's going to be wonderful. This is the card of unconditional love and devotion, and it really is something you'll be awestruck. It's going to come from the heart, because the Alethea card is the card of truth. It's a card that that resonates with your complete truth. So what comes through, so you'll be able to feel it. This is the thing that it's trying to tell you, Aquarius, is to follow your truth, follow your heart, and follow what makes you feel this kind of awe and this unconditional love and inspiration and passion. That's your truth. That is the guiding emotions and the guiding vibrational signature that will help you to flow through this rebirth energy and through the sadness and into the next chapter, the next part of this journey for you. So these two cards together are very powerful, and this is a very powerful reading for you, Aquarius. It's going to be a significant turning point in your life, this Venus retrograde, and I really look forward to hearing about it. Please do comment in the comment section if you feel confident to share what's happening with you. And I'm really grateful for you to come on this journey with me and allow me to be a part of your creative journey. And I look forward to seeing you again in August, in the August forecast. But for now, take care. Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your Venus retrograde tarot card reading. We have healing. So this Venus retrograde is happening in your 6th house, which is the house of your health and well-being. There's an opportunity here to look at your health, look at your body, look at your physical body and your physical body's needs in terms of creating an overall sense of well-being. Now this can be literally healing your body, literally healing any ailments, anything that's causing you any suffering, because Venus was wanting to flow more love and ease and joy and pleasure into your life, easing that any physical problems you're having with your body and with your health can be eased during this time. So healing is very possible for you, and that may be something like finding a routine that works for you, finding a more easy way of approaching your health, finding a more balanced diet. Venus loves balance. So you could be looking at balancing your diet, balancing your exercise routine, or balancing your daily life, just balancing your habits, your lifestyle, the way that you are engaging with life on a daily basis. Poised. To the sea. Now both of these cards have been coming out a lot, so I think this is an influence that's happening for a lot of people with this Venus retrograde. This poised card here, as you can see, she's completely ready to take a leap. She's ready to move forward in life. She's prepared, and she is bringing in, is drawing in the next stage of her life. So this Venus retrograde is a time of preparation. All retrogrades are a time of preparation. We prepare the ground, we nurture the soil, we tend to the seeds so that things can grow in their place. And this is about getting yourself in a position where you're ready. You're ready for this journey to the sea. You're going on a journey, and it may be a very emotional journey for you Pisces. With this Venus retrograde, there may be a lot of depth. There's this water which represents our emotions, and she is reading a map. She is looking for her direction. So this could be a new direction, it could be a new journey, and it could be very emotional for you. New beginnings, yes, like I said, a new journey, a new direction, and you're totally ready for it. So this is about preparing. It's about healing what needs to be healed so that you're ready to take this next step. Adaptability and divine wisdom. As you heal your physical body or your mental body, as you heal, or your emotional body, it can be any aspect of health that you're healing and that you're working with. As you heal, you become more flexible, and therefore you become more adaptable and more ready for these new beginnings and this journey to move you in a new direction, and trusting that there is divine wisdom in what is happening, and there is divine wisdom available to you. I feel particularly around the full moon in Aquarius, August the 2nd, in your 12th house. That would be a really beautiful time for you to sit and to try and channel in this divine wisdom and receive messages that you need to receive in order to know which direction to go and what and where this journey is leading you and taking you, and how to make these changes to implement into your life. Five of Cups, Eight of Cups, Ace of Coins, Seven of Coins, Two of Wands, and Three of Swords. So here's that emotional journey you're going on, this Eight of Cups. So something is missing, okay? Something's missing from your life. Something's missing from probably most likely your daily life or your lifestyle. It can also relate to your work environment and the people that you work with, but it's something that's missing, and it's something that you need to find, or that you're going to find through this journey you're going on, to bring in that healing. Now this could be heart healing, literally heart healing for you, Pisces. With Leo being the sign of the heart, Venus being the sign of love, we've got the Five of Cups here. If there's any grief or loss or sadness that you have experienced, you're ready to approach this healing. You're ready to heal and to adapt and to move forward, to integrate the lessons and integrate this emotion and what it all means to you and move forward, because there is a piece missing. 8 of Cups, there's a piece missing, and that's what this new beginning and this journey towards this new beginning you're going to find. You're finding the missing piece of the puzzle and to create a new start for yourself. Now the Ace of Coins here, there is something ready to grow and you're ready to receive it. It just needs you to be more adaptable. It needs you to be able to change and to move through this. And this could be a healing around rigidity, anywhere you've been keeping yourself stuck. It also requires a lot of investment, a lot of effort from your 7 of Coins. It requires you to go on a journey. It's not something that's going to click into place immediately. It's something that you have to work towards. You have to move through this and journey towards and put in the effort to move towards this, whatever is coming in, this Ace of Coins that's coming in for you. And I feel as well there's a new vision coming through. And again, like I said, I feel like that full moon that's happening in Aquarius on August the 2nd will be a pivotal moment for you through that, because there is a new vision that can be found or can come, maybe in a download or something. There's a vision for your future. There's a new direction coming through, and it requires you to cut ties with an old storyline or an old journey that you have been on, and it requires you to invest and apply yourself and to this new journey and to this new vision that you're being shown and you're able to move towards. There is communication coming in for you, I feel, whether that's from another person or coming from the divine. There is communication around what the next steps are. So keep your mind and your heart open to that communication coming through. Now, the next lot of cards I'm going to pull will be for the healing that you have access to during this Venus retrograde. We have the Mother, the Shaman, and the Hunter. So I'm not surprised that the Shaman has come out here with this healing card as well. So there's healing for you to do, and there is healing of your own soul, your own spirit, your own body, but also therefore you can apply that healing to other people, and you can be a shining light of healing. So you can be a healer as well. And Pisces is a very healing sign, especially connecting to your divine wisdom. That is kind of your mission here in this lifetime as a Pisces anyway. And it's sort of just bringing you back to that understanding of your psychic abilities, your psychic visions, and your psychic and your connection with divine and source, and knowing that you're a vessel that channels that through for the healing of the world and for the healing of other people. And so you are capable of tapping into that more powerfully during this Venus retrograde as you move into that gentler energy of that divine being and ease and surrender, which is a really powerful place for Pisces to be in, and remembering that you are a shining beacon of healing into our world through that. And with the Mother card here is that nurturing, we're nurturing ourselves, nurturing particularly your own physical body, nurturing your own physical needs, tending to yourself as if you were your own mother. And if you are a mother, it can be tending to your children or tending to other people in that nurturing, gentle way. And the Hunter card is that reminder about this journey that you're on, to remember that you're moving towards something, you're seeking something. Your heart is calling you forward, your heart is calling you towards whatever it is that you're hunting. This Ace of Coins, this journey is part of the process of bringing that Ace of Coins in. And so it's a reminder just to stay goal-oriented, to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. Particularly if this is something to do with your physical body, if you're trying to achieve a sense of well-being and a sense of health or fitness or something, it can be hard. We can create a lot of excuses about why we shouldn't do those activities because it's not easy. And so this is just a reminder to stay focused and continue through this journey, and don't let yourself be distracted or escape from the journey of the hard work that you're going on, because it will pay off. It will be worth it. And so I'm going to leave you with that now, Pisces. I hope you have a really beautiful Venus retrograde and happy healing. Thank you for letting me be a part of your creative process, and thanks for going on this journey with me. And I look forward to seeing you again in the August forecast. Take care.